Peace and love, spread love, not hate. It's your boy Chef Disaster Plate Prevention coming at you with another episode of Surviving Love. Should you lower your standards to find love, we picking through the low hanging fruit out here. Make sure you smash that like button on your way in. Sit back and relax and enjoy the content. Let's get into it. Make sure you smash that like button on your way in. Sit back and relax.
Fish, grease. Hey, it's a shame we don't talk no more. Thinking what we're fighting for. Girl, I loved you, but since you let go, my heart is stone. Cause girl, I'm so cold. Like my body's froze. I can't shake the feeling that nobody knows but you. But since you let go, my heart is stone. Cause girl, I'm so cold. So, just gonna leave me outside with no umbrella, huh? You were the one I gave my heart. Thought we'd never depart. I guess falling in love too fast wasn't smart. You acted like an angel fish, but you was a shark. Chewed through my soul, left me torn apart. Too much pride to let you see me cry. Like a car with cruise control, I just let it ride. Things were good a week ago, now this is what it comes to. Mad I ever kissed you, wishing I never hugged you. I should've just fucked you and said fuck you like I begun to. Cause the bitch gonna be a bitch and a hoe gonna be a hoe. You can't make them housewives, you gotta let them go. Or you have your head stuck in your lap, reaping what you sow. Material girls won't love you when you broke. They'll be on to the next, laughing at you like a joke. Sometimes, even one time, everybody plays a fool. Love don't love nothing, and it comes with no rules. Sometimes, even one time, everybody plays a fool. Love don't love nothing, and it comes with no rules. It's a shame we don't talk no more. Thinking what we're fighting for. Girl, I loved you, but since you let go, my heart is slow. Cause girl, I'm so cold. Like my body's froze. I can't shake the feeling that nobody knows but you. But since you let go, my heart is slow. Cause girl, I'm so how we go from seeing eye to eye to not even saying hi. When we cross each other's paths, we just walk on by. Like you was never my girl, I was never your guy. I guess it was the things my money couldn't buy. It's gonna be hard to forget you, girl, cause you and me had history. But history repeats itself, and you and me are history. I hope your new dude keeps you in the best. It's because of you, I got a freezer in my chest. I love you like a queen, but you was just a princess. My untrue boo, a chick full of lies, deceitful. My eyes couldn't see through the disguise. It must have been her lips, tits, and them thighs. Jezebel, worked your spell on a nigga well. Them lips were curse, every kiss got worse. Mean tongue game will leave a nigga in the hearse. I should've left your ass second and kept me first. Hey, it's a shame we don't talk no more. Thinking what we're fighting for. Girl, I loved you, but since you let go, my heart is slow. Cause girl, I'm so cold. Like my body's froze. I can't shake the feeling that nobody knows but you. But since you let go, my heart is slow. Cause girl, I'm so cold.
Now rocking with your boy Chef Disaster Plate Prevention. Let's get into it. Please smash the like button on your way in. I really appreciate it. Yes, sir. Fish grease, you so cold. Fish grease, you so cold. Uh huh. What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday, TGIF. To all of y'all, it's the weekend. Hope you have a safe, wonderful weekend. You get some good weather and you get to enjoy that shit, you heard? For real, for real. I see everybody in the chat. It's good to see y'all. It's been a little minute. I hope everybody checked out that video. You know what I mean? That food video. You know your boy got it in. I got it in. I got it in. All right. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. Melf, Melf Me Dome, what's up, my G? King in the building. Miguel Vigatoro, what's going on with you? Donna just being real, salute. Latasha MG2G, I see you, Queen. All right. Hope I ain't missed nobody in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Peace and love, spread love, 9-8. Yo, what's going on, the real Jack Newtown? I see you. I appreciate you too, King. Thanks for stopping in. Salute, salute. I got a great show for us tonight. You know what I'm saying? Should we lower our standards to find love, picking through the low hanging fruit. It's a great topic. I'm gonna give some commentary on it. We're just gonna rock out like that. You feel me? Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Salute to everybody in the building. You already know what it is. Got that Casamigo. You'll see it. Like, yes, sir. We're gonna pour myself some of that. Mm-hmm. Myself a good shot. Salute to y'all. Salute from the goblet, the serving the love cup. Uh-huh. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. Let some people roll in here. How you doing though? How's everybody doing? Still talking about the sugar. Mm-hmm. How many of y'all in the chat tonight feel like you have lowered your standard to find love or just to find love? Because y'all know I'm surviving love and everything, so it's it's different. It's definitely something I've thought about a lot. Like overlooking things that I wouldn't normally overlook just to find that right person, you know what I'm saying? Or to find a quick fix for my solution, for me being single, for me surviving love. Mm-hmm. All heart and grit and grind. What's up, my G? Salute. I see you. Appreciate you coming in. All right. Roll on in. Roll on in. Get nice and cozy. Enjoy the content tonight. Got some great content, you know what I'm saying? Um, Picking through the low hanging fruit, that's the fruit. That's the easy action stuff. You know what I mean? Easy actions. You don't want to be going through that. You know what I mean? You don't want to. You don't want to. Everybody can reach it. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's the low hanging fruit. You want to get the fruit that everybody can't reach. That people are getting. It's all the way at the top. It's getting all the extra sun, all the extra love, all that other good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Yes, sir. hmm I can never lower my standards. Definitely tweak them. All right. I hear you. I hear you. Yes, sir. I hear you. Um, that's a good. That's something good. Here's the thing about it. So you're like, you'll be. What is this? Mm-mm. You'll be, you'll be basically looking for somebody that you created in your mind that to you they may be perfect. Like they just don't exist because in our minds we create the most perfectest person. You know what I'm saying? Like the best person for us. That's what we create. So they'll have everything you want, the perfect job, the perfect situation, and you know nationality. That person, you'll never find that person because you're not gonna find somebody, fellas, nice, set of racks, ass, hips, good job, smart, no kids. You know what I mean? Sometimes we gotta let some of those things go. We have to because you're not gonna find the person with everything. And if you're content on that, and that's what you want to do, then so be it. Then that's what you do. But I'm telling you, you'll have sometimes, like especially when you get up there in age, you gotta lower your standard. You just have to because the whole thing with kids. You know, some women won't date a man with kids, and I understand that. You know what I mean? Like I've been told, oh, you got two kids, and that's pushing it. You know what I'm saying? That's pushing it. And I'm like, how is that pushing it? You know, because because I take care of my kids. How is that pushing? And I understand why they say it. You know what I mean? They're at that time where they want to be the main focus in your life. They want to get all your extra time from whatever else it is that you're doing. They want all your extra time. So I understand them. I do understand them. You know what I mean? And see what you're talking about in the chat. Mm-hmm. Gotta get your angle in the camera right. Gotta angle this camera right. Let me see what you're talking about. I'm gonna get why I get the camera angle right. Is the sound good? I didn't even check if the sound was good. Alright. Thank you, Latasha. Tweaking, being more realistic, looking for specific features. Alright. No, you shouldn't lower your standard because you're not really attracted to that person. Good point, or there is someone for everyone though. Yeah, it is someone for everyone. It's definitely someone for all, for everyone, right? It's somebody for everyone out there. But I'll say this: that's your tree, right? You say your tree is the dating tree, and then on your tree is going to be fruit. At the top is going to be the best quality fruit. You know why? It's closer to the sun. It's away from all the animals. It's just it's getting all it carrot needs to be good fruit. And then down the bottom, that fruit gets all the water that drops past the top fruit. You know what I mean? And it has access to all the bugs and things like that. So sometimes the skin might not look as good as the higher fruit. There's reasons why it's the low hanging fruit, right? So a lot of us find ourselves in, the mid range to the low hanging fruit. Like, and you have to admit that to yourself. Like, you can't just go and say, well, I'm top fruit. I mean, it's good to feel confident about yourself, but it's also important to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's really important to be realistic. So if we're looking for the top hanging fruit, that would be the women and the men that are ideal for our situation, not just looks, not just everything. Someone who's ideal for your situation. Meeting your sexual appetite, financial situation. They're just perfect. So that's the high hanging fruit. Should you, right, say I'm not going to try for that because that's just out of my reach, or should you build yourself a ladder and get to the top of the fruit? Get to the top of the fruit, or should you say I can get some of this middle fruit right here? You know what I mean? It's firm, it's right, it's good, and work with that because maybe they're short, maybe they're overweight, maybe The things that'll make you say, "Oh, that's not me. I'm not dealing with that." That's a cutoff point. All right. So should you do that? And I'm surviving love. You do know that. So I find myself saying, some of the things that the women I come across, I can deal with that. Like I can deal with the fact that she's really you know dominant. Her personality is dominant. You know what I'm saying? Like normally, guys want someone a little softer, a little more, cuddly, touchy feely type thing, compared to having someone who's not that. So should we lower our standards? That's what I want to know today. So I'm gonna give a couple of words on lowering the standard, and I want to know if you all agree with that. I really want to know if you agree with me on some of the things I feel like we should lower our standards. That's what I want to do. You know what I mean? What you're talking about? Yeah. All right. So I also think I also think it is what you value as well as in a relationship. Age does play a key role, though. Yeah, age does play a key role. It depends on like as you get up there, there's certain things that you just don't accept. And I've talked to plenty of women, older women, you know, women in their late 30s to early 30s, and the whole kid situation. If a person has kids, should you say I'm still going to talk to them even though they have kids, or should you not talk to them? Like, is that a reason to not talk to somebody? Because I say no. Me, I personally, I say no. I think that as long as that they're doing what they're supposed to do, and the kids are taken care of, and they can spend time with whatever, that's good. That's good. I don't mind if a woman has children, and the children are taken care of. It's kind of like I go into a situation and I embrace being a stepfather if I be with the child's mother for a long period of time. I'm I'm more willing I'm more willing to pick from that fruit, because now that's not the top fruit. I'm not saying, like, personally, whoever you pick to love and they work for you, that's who you should be with. But I'm saying on the standard of top quality relationships. Um, we all want to go into a situation with somebody who doesn't have kids, or even if they do have kids, their kids are grown and out the door and doing their own thing, right? So we can even say that. But I'm willing, me, I still think that's great fruit. I still think that's a woman, and I think her ability to take care of her kids is a great um like personality. You can really find out a lot about a woman. The way she tends to her kids, care for her kids, and I personally go into the situation. I I have a baby boy, and if someone has a problem with me having a kid, he needs to go. Right. And I feel you on that. I feel you on that, Latasha. Plus, I'm taking care of my baby boy, and I'm not asking them to take care of him financially in any way, shape, or form. And so it shouldn't bother them. Right. So I still consider a person like Latasha G2G to be, top fruit. You know what I mean? Because she says it herself. She takes care of her kids. She doesn't make it absolutely, necessary that they have to be in the child's life. So I like her personality. I like her approach to it, and I'm sure if there's situations where she would want a guy to be involved with her baby boy, she would know how to work that situation into existence. Word up. All right. So you have to be perfect fit for my family. I'm not about to antics. I'm about your heart and you being a real man before I even let you around my son. All right. That's what's up. Yo, what's up, Chris? Cooling. My brother from another mother was good with you. Salute. Salute. Yeah. So, what are what are what are we consider? What are some of the things that you should lower your standards for? I think kids is definitely. If you say to yourself, I'm not gonna worry about a person with kids. They're still in. That your range for finding love is that much open because like I said, at a certain age, a lot of the women and the men are gonna have children. So you don't cut yourself off. You don't narrow your search down. You know what I mean? You still got a good amount of fruit to pick from, right? And some good fruit. That she's gonna take care of kids. He's taking care of his kids. It's not running interference on your situation. You still get to go out. It's not a hassle. It's not a burden. And it's still not a really bad thing to lower your standards for. It's not. Right? So you talked about that. What is another thing that is a sure thing that you shouldn't lower your standard for? All right. It's hard to find a man without kids nowadays, and I can accept that. Right. And you'll still have great fruit to pick from. Yo, what's going on, Clifford Starks? Good to see you, man. Long time no see. In the building. All right. Find somebody that you truly connect with before you even consider dating them. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. So, another thing. Here's another thing. Don't, all right. Don't give a person a financial landmark. Like, don't say they must. I mean, you can do what you want. Don't get me wrong. I know there's some women that won't date a man unless he makes six figures. But don't knock yourself out of bounds. Don't knock yourself out of play by setting your standards so high. Because a lot of the times it's hard to find individuals that make a certain amount of money, and the reason why you can't find them because somebody has them already. The people that make the most money, they probably more likely to be with somebody at certain ages. That's the same thing for look. If a woman looks good, she's bad, she can cook, she can clean, she's honest, she's loyal. She's gonna be taken off the market. She's not gonna be around for you. You know what I'm saying? So some of the things we gotta be able to let them go to find real love. To find real love for real for real. All right. So Dome says I always take myself out of the kid argument or discussion. I don't have any myself. So would you date women that have kids? I'm just asking. You don't have to answer it. Just asking. Because cheat. All right. So Latasha says because cheating is played out. Settle down, take trips, get money, and be happy. Absolutely. Settle down, get money, and be happy. That's a fact. That's a whole fact. Settle down, get money, and be happy. The money discussion is left field. Absolutely. A lot of the time, you let your money speak for itself. Let the money speak for itself. Yes, sir. All right. Dome says I pay, she pays sometimes. I know people hate this though. Yeah, they do hate it. They do. A lot of women won't date you because you're 50-50. You know, if you want to be a 50-50 guy, you some women will say they don't want to date you. Some women want a man exclusively to take care of them. There's nothing wrong for that. But when you do things like that, you know, you narrow the market for yourself. It's like marketing. You know what I mean? If you're willing to wait year and year, and you don't want to settle, then go for it. Hey, I'm not here to stop you. I'm here to talk about me. You know, surviving love, finding out that lowering my standards a little bit will help me be successful in the situation. That and luck. There's a lot of luck. All right, you've been with a few women with kids. Yeah, it's hard to get by. Hope I ain't missing nobody. Yeah, it's not bad at all, bro. I actually love it. I actually enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Please hit the like button on your way in. You know I do appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Got your own money. That's good. That's what's up. All right. So are we find are you find are you finding yourself lowering your standards way too low? Do you find yourself doing that? Because I found myself in a situation like that where I've lowered my standards really, really, really low. And once I once we got into a situation, I regretted it. And I said I never should have did that. I never should have settled. I never should have overlooked that part. So there's certain things that you shouldn't overlook. And this is just, character. You know what I mean? If a person has bad character definitely isn't something that, you should overlook. Bad character is a real storm brewer. You know what I'm saying? That can lead you into a lot of situations. And I'm gonna tell you guys something for real. Like getting out of my situation, I was miserable. I was hard to get along with, hard to have a discussion with, less less likely to concede to anything but what I had going on. Nothing but pretty much a bully in my situation. You know what I mean? A whole bully out here. They had their mind straight, so it was easy. Respect parting, we had all love to them. Respectful party, we had all love to them. All right. Okay. Yeah. So what are we really talking about here? All right. Character. And I was telling you guys that what type of person I was. And I found myself Xing myself out of a lot of situations, just having a trust issue type of situation going on. Like I had no trust for no one as far as being in the situation. You did one thing, I was done with it. There was no way that I was gonna allow you to lie to me, be inconsistent with your answers. I'm always I'm always on the hunt like a private detective, trying to find something that'll make me say, "Oh no, you're not the one. You're not the one." And 9 times out of 10, I was finding something that I didn't like about a woman and leaving myself single again. I was doing it to myself. So I had to live. I had to live again. I had to learn how to be again. You know what I'm saying? So character, and sometimes it's not the fault of the individual, but character is definitely something you shouldn't settle for. Bad character. A person should not have bad characteristics. And if they do, if they treat you bad, if they talk to you bad, if they're doing any of these kind of things, you shouldn't allow that. All right? And they might look good and they might have the money and everything, right? But character will definitely put that person in the low hanging fruit, right? And as I'm speaking to you, as I'm talking to you about the person, think about it. Really think about it. How many people have you came across that are low hanging fruit for that reason? And I'm telling you they're low hanging fruit for that reason because they're single and everybody in the low hanging fruit, people have put their hands on, touched it, checked it, because it's easy access. See if they like it. Soft spot, check it for the soft spot. That's the low hanging fruit. And why are they low hanging fruit? Bad characteristics. Why are they available? Why do they have easy access? Because of their bad character. So you can have all the low hanging fruit you want, all the bad character, good looking women, bad character, good, handsome men you want because there's a bunch of them. There's a whole lot of there hanging, ready, easy access. All right? Think about what I'm saying to you. That's why they're readily available. That's why they're low hanging fruit. We don't want to pick from that. We don't want to settle from that. And if you do find yourself in that situation and there's no attachment, you need to remove yourself from that. You should remove yourself from that as quickly as possible. Right? So I've gave you an example of low hanging fruit. I've gave you an example of top tier fruit. I've also gave you an example of middle fruit. You know what I'm saying? And I hope as I'm giving this commentary that you're understanding what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to find love, right, the person should should suit the situation that you got going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Anybody want to come up and have a conversation with me? You're more than welcome to. So, can anybody in the chat give me a reason why a person would be low hanging fruit? I gave you, the example of why a person with bad character is low hanging fruit, and everybody's touched the fruit, but they're still single. Give me another example of why a person would be low hanging fruit. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back. Had to take the call. Oh, it's all right, Latasha. It's all right. Let me put the phone number in there. You can call in. If you like. That's the phone number. That's the cash app. If you want to support the channel, really appreciate it. You know, brother got to eat. And then let me put this link. Put this link in there. Yes, sir. Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on with it. Put that in there. Try that out. All right, the link is in the chat. No, my people make a jump, jump. So please feel free to call in if you like. Please feel free. All right. You see what you're talking about in the chat. Jack back in the building. Jack is back. All right, so I put the link. I also put the house call number so you can call in if you want. Call in if you like. My bad. That's my fault. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I've learned why people are still single, and I'm the one sitting here talking. But I've said it to myself. I've told you like I've had a bad attitude, which can be considered bad character. I've had a terrible attitude. I've had trust issues, and I stopped saying it was them and started accepting that it was me. You know, and I took care of it. I started to look at things differently. First and foremost, I look to the higher energy and I asked him for help also, with my peace of mind. That's where the whole peace and love, spread love, not hate thing comes from. You know what I mean? Having that peace of mind. Yes, sir. And I'm like this. If if I have to do something that makes me uncomfortable, then it's not worth it for me to be in that situation. So I personally stopped talking to the most beautifulest women, the most intelligent women, the most, you know, on point women for bad character. Um, I've had the best experience when I had when I didn't have great expectations. Because once I really like met anyone that was close to the standards I set for myself, I realized the situation was complicated. And why was it so complicated? Because I was always wondering if I'm doing enough to keep that person satisfied. Because I found the person to me, I'm putting the strain on me. To me, that's the best out there for me. So I'm doing everything. I'm exhausting all resources, all energy to keep this person happy and interested in me. Right? When it should be done effortlessly, without effort. So what am I talking about here when I say without effort? So when you find the medium fruit, the fruit that's right in the middle, not at the top, not at the bottom, right in the middle, this person has the same type of ambition and drive as I have. So when we get together, it's a natural flow. It's great chemistry. There's no added pressure, you know, anxiety. Do they like me? Am I enough? Am I appealing enough? Both of us are thinking alike, you know, and I've had some of the most wonderful experiences. Like I sit here and tell you no lie. Well, that's on everything. All right, we got somebody in the back. Salute Dome. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, brother? What's
Spread
going
love,
on?
Natty. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
Hold on. Say something again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You good?
Oh, okay. I thought I heard an echo.
Was my sound good when you was in the chat?
Yeah, yeah. I can hear you.
All right.
I can hear you, brother. Yeah, I just this is a great conversation, man. It's a great discussion, man. I honestly think that like you said, I think when you hit a certain age, I think your list is shortens. And I know for me, I just tweaked a little bit. I stopped
Mm-hmm.
looking for um, more of the physical assets. So, the large hips, big breasts, and all that. and was looking more for personality based and somebody that has their head on their shoulders. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That is just straight versus just the physical stuff.
Right.
Because you could get the physical stuff and then you realize after you get it, it's not what you thought it was gonna be. You feel me? You could have a whole totally different thing going on in your brain. You could think that, wow, this woman is spectacular, this and that, and then you finally get to be with her, and you realize she's dumb as shit, and then she has nothing to offer you on a mental or spiritual tip. So that's what I mean by tweaking mine. You know what I mean? Tweaking my list a little bit. And I know for other people, I don't want to speak for other people, but I know other people might not even tweak their list. They probably just keep it set and, longer than the Bible and stuff. So
Right.
I had to do that though. I think that finding and what's crazy is the women that I found that were more human like were the ones that had kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they were very more human like and they were very intelligent too. So I think that that narrative that if a woman has a child or something, that they're just they're irresponsible with their womb, they're bad people and all that. And I'm like, oh, that's not the case because one of my exes was like doing criminal justice and shit, and she was really smart. She just happened to have a daughter. And the guy that she was with just wasn't shit. So that narrative is very played out, especially on
Right.
social media and everyday living.
Right. When I said, all right, so as men, right, we we can build ourselves up to get the type of women we want in our life. If that's what you want to do and you want those type of women, then so be it. But just a regular guy looking for love, looking for a regular situation, should he be doing the same thing as a guy who can do it? Because it ain't pimping if you got it. Uh, You think? What do you think about that?
Can you repeat that one more time, King?
I'll say. Do you think a guy? Would you build yourself to get the type of women that you want? As far as the top tier fruit, or would you just keep going as yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like just being a regular guy. Whatever you make in your career, that's what you make. That's what you have to offer.
Oh, of course. I mean, every human on Earth is their purpose is to strive to be the best, right? I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
never seen anybody go to work, 50, 60 hours a week to get lower tier shit. You feel me? If I'm always gonna strive to get the best.
Uh huh.
That's why when I'm talking about tweaking, you want to be realistic, and I think brothers and sisters all out there need to be more realistic when we talking the best. You feel me? Because I think the best for us, especially in our community, is very superficial, dumb shit. And I think that with us, and I'm gonna speak for myself personally. With me, it's like, yeah, you want all of this. You want the physical, you want the mental, but it's like, man, you can't. That's like you need a genie, man, to get that. You know what I mean? You need like three wishes for that shit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Yeah, there's some things that you have to write off,
Yeah.
and if they fit the main criteria, then I say go for it. Because the main preference is really what I want to fit, what I want to fill up on my list, and that's definitely your brain, definitely spiritually inclined, and being a great person overall. I want that,
Yeah.
but you gotta have something. I do. You do want an attractive woman, but you know, she doesn't have to be a 25 or anything like that. That's not realistic. You know what I mean?
So as a man, you should get the fancy car, have the big bank account, always dress and look good. Um, thrive for the best. Like to be your best to attract those type of women. You know what I mean? Like, or should you just be a blue collar guy and attract what you attract?
I think we should all as people always want to level up. I don't think there's nothing wrong with leveling up. And I use that in the sense as, you know, getting better than what you had before, but still in the same realm of realism, of being realistic. You know what I mean? I don't think you should never work and strive to date something beneath you when you working hard, man. Because if I work hard, you definitely want your queen to work hard, right? So that just makes sense to me. So I definitely want a reflection of me as something that complements me as, you
Yeah.
know, my partner, you know,
Okay.
striving. I'm striving. You know, you on your shit, I'm on my shit.
All right. I hear you. So you that you make a great point. Sometimes as a man, I don't think our standard is as high as women. I could be wrong. I'm giving my opinion. You know, opinions are like ales. Everybody got one. So this is my opinion. But I think that women have a higher standard of men than men have of women. And I say that because there's certain areas, certain gray areas that you step into as a man where you cut yourself off from a lot of women. And going past one kid, you just start to chop your legs off. No matter how much money you make, whatever the situation may be, and especially at certain types of age, um, they're not going to deal with you having young babies neither. Donna says sometimes in the dating scene, you have to level up to get that type of person you want to date. Nothing wrong with self improvement. You're right, Donna. Sometimes you got to level up, but like at what expense? What makes it worth it? Donna just being real. Latasha agrees with you.
I think
And
what
losing
makes
yourself in the process. I'm glad you said that. Good follow up.
I think that when you're talking about at what expense, I think you don't want to sacrifice your core values
Mm-hmm.
as a person. And if you feel like you're stretching too thin, I wouldn't do it. So if you say the main thing I don't want is somebody with kids, I don't think you should mess with anybody that has kids. That's
Right.
just my point, regardless of how good they sound. Now that's just coming from outside perspective, as an overall general perspective. You know, that's not really mine. Um, I think that if you want, you know, somebody that makes a certain money, you know, over a threshold. I think if you as a person know that you can handle somebody making less than you or whatever the case may be, don't sacrifice that. That would be sacrificing at your expense because you know as a person that you couldn't handle that. You know you will go crazy. Oh, he's not making that. I want that. Well, if you knew that he was making that before you got with him, you shouldn't have got with him. And this is vice versa with brothers. It's the same shit. The
Uh huh.
same advice I'll give to them. You know, if you knew she had 5 kids, why did you get with her? You know what I mean? So that's the sacrifice at expense that you know I wouldn't do myself neither, because not only will I feel like it would be cheating me, because I know I'm not going to be fully engaged with that partner, but I'll be cheating her. You know what I mean? I don't want to waste her time and have her thinking that we really doing something and we really building something when nah, I'm not feeling you really like that. You don't make that much. I make more than you. I feel like I'm carrying you, you know. And once again, this is just an overall general perspective. I think if you can't, to sum it up, trying to sum it up, if you can't, if you feel like you have doubts with the person that you're messing with at your expense of dating them, then just don't even do it. If you feel like that's going to be a problem, don't even do it. Don't even jump into it.
Uh, okay, that's what's up. So I'm glad you said that. So here's another here's another piece of low hanging fruit, right? And this is for men and women. If the person likes to go out and goes to every event that somebody invites them to, there's a reason why they're single. It's a reason why these people will be low hanging. And I'm not knocking people who live that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's easy access to that person. So because they're making themselves readily available. And how is this person making themselves readily available for other hands to be put on them? They're always out. They're just that every time somebody invite them to something, they right there. Man and woman. Like you have to pay attention to that. And I've learned that, being on the dating scene after surviving love, like you don't want that kind of person. If you're looking for something steady, you don't want a person that everybody invites to everything. They're in every party picture on their Instagram, in their Facebook. They're there. You want to stay away from that type of person. Me, I'm making that low hanging fruit.
But so are you
You know,
talking about? Are you talking about overall like a person that's always at a singles mixer or going to parties or something like that? Is that what
just,
you're talking about?
your dome, just everything. They go to every,
Okay.
like they always like, oh, I can't wait till the weekend get here. Once the weekend get here, they do that. And they still partying. And I can't wait till Tuesday get here so I can turn. You know what I'm
All right,
saying?
I got you. I got you. Yeah.
They never stop, bro. Like they won't be cheating on you, but they'll be putting themselves in a situation so maybe something like that can happen.
Right.
Because just think about it. Yeah, I know. I'm like, when I go out, I feel good. I like to have a good time. I'm more promiscuous. I'm more flirtatious. They're putting themselves in that type of environment all the time. And so when Jack asks, "What are you willing to sacrifice to get the top tier person in that marriage?"
Hmm.
I definitely like that question. I'm not willing to sacrifice my peace of mind. Dating that type of person that's already out like that, I'll be sacrificing my peace of mind. I'm just not willing to do that. So
That.
I always say, "Are you like that type of?" I always ask, and I don't act like an asshole. I'll be like, "Oh, so what you like to do in your free time? What you got going on?" To find out, because if I find out that you're that type of person, I'm not gonna knock you for it, but I'm just gonna have to move on from the situation. You know what I mean? Because that is low hanging fruit.
Right.
Everybody got their feel on that piece of fruit. So, during the whole stream, I've had outgoing girls on the low hanging fruit, and the other one was, damn, I don't forgot what the other one was. While it was low hanging fruit, I forgot. It'll come back to me.
That's a good question, though. That's a great question.
So,
That's
what would you be willing to sacrifice?
uh, I'm definitely not sacrificing, like what you said, my stress level, my
Hmm.
blood pressure. I'm not doing that anymore. I did that in my 20s, and this is what kind of alludes to what I was saying about my exes and how we parted, on great terms. And I
Hmm.
still have love for them because it was just respect. Like them, like those were some wonderful women. I believe them women are probably would be married by now. Actually, it was me that fucked it up. I'm just gonna keep it truthful with that shit because I was just young, you know, doing what I do. But I don't want to be stressed. That's something I don't want to be. I would leave before I get stressed. I don't think anybody should be stressed in any relationship. I don't think a relationship is supposed to be a stressful one. It's supposed to be more of a partnership, which in turn would be a team. Like the Lakers or something. It would be a team, and everybody plays their position. You add to the scoreboard to get a win. I think a lot of times, a lot of us are doing individual shit, and we kind of forget that, when you get in a relationship, that's your partner, that's your teammate. That's why they call it a partner. So you got to have
Right.
that balance. Y'all should want to do things for each other and this and that. It shouldn't be all balance. So you got to have that balance. Y'all should want to do.
Yeah, doing my bad.
Okay, yeah. So you don't ever want your relationship to be off balance, like where you feel like you doing everything, and the word simp gets thrown around, like I'm doing everything, or the woman feels like she's being taken advantage of. You know, it should always be a balance, and that's my motto. That's the way I run my relationships. I like balance. I don't like it to be um, where you dominating or she's dominating. I like to be a man, but at the same time, I like to hear, her position, her point of view on the direction of the relationship, because I think communication is key too. This is why I can part with my exes and still have respect for them versus all my homeboys who hate their exes, even hate their baby mamas, because you
Yeah.
didn't pick correctly and you never had a communication with them, my brother. You never talked to them. You never got to know who you was laying down with. I got to
Right.
talk to all of my exes, and I don't even have any children. So communication is key, man. Don't be afraid to talk, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, understand
Right.
your woman, and women understand your man. I'm telling you, you can be at a great place. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And you know another thing. To Jack's question, we put it back on the screen real quick. What are you willing to sacrifice to get the top tier person for a marriage? I'm willing to sacrifice my time. I'm definitely willing because with the top tier person, right? The top tier person, you you make the situation the best situation that it can be. So for them to be the top tier person, you have to put them on that pedestal, vice versa, whatever you want to call it. Um, so me in improving myself and self improving myself, meaning finding the best job so I can support myself financially, and having everything I need to be stable, to have stability. I'm actually putting myself in a different range. I'm opening myself up to a different demographic of women just by doing what I'm supposed to do as a man. And that's how that works. So when I'm willing to sacrifice time, I'm willing to work, what I'm saying, hours and build on myself and, run a successful business and thrive to be the best in any field that I'm in. I'm willing to put that time in to do that. You know what I mean? Not just for, of course, for me, but to be able to sustain a good relationship. Because oddly enough, sometimes top tier women, you have to keep recreating the situation. I'm not saying all the time, but it just always seems like they're more high end, and you have to keep showing them new tricks and stuff like that. You know, that's why rich people they spend a lot of money on fancy things because they become so accustomed to things. Nothing is nice to them anymore. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with that type of woman.
Right, right.
So
And I think to the
I
question, I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
no, you good, you good.
Um, that's a good question. I mean, when you're talking about sacrificing for, a marriage,
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about doing it all. I
Right.
mean, because when a man proposed, that means this woman right here. You locked in. I mean, I'm willing to do everything. You sacrifice your soul for this woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk, I guess let me approach this a different way. When we're talking about what are you willing to sacrifice for a relationship or sacrifice for a marriage? Because I believe both are different, right? Because for a relationship, you do, I would go on the route you were saying, you would sacrifice your time to see, if this is worth further in investing in a relationship, right? That can lead to a marriage, right? But if we're talking about already in a relationship and this can lead to a marriage, then I'm willing to give it my all. We talking about marriage, man. You're talking about the ultimate, the holy grail of everything, man. That's like the highest pinnacle. That's what you're here for, is to find your soulmate. So I'm willing to give it all. You know what I
Right,
mean? If I gotta work like 5 jobs and this is the woman that I know that I want to be with forever, this is marriage. This is some serious shit. So yeah, I'm willing to do it all for marriage. But if we're
right,
talking about your average basic relationship, of course it's just time that you invest in to see how it develops. That's why you can't mistreat people's time. So you have to be honest with your mate. If you want to go further with, the relationship, is the money going to be an issue? Is the kids going to be an issue? I think these are two different things that we're talking about. One is at the highest magnitude, and one is something that can lead to the highest magnitude. So I think that the answer has to be based on what level you're in, the relationship or going towards the marriage.
mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree with you on that. So sacrificing for marriage, it definitely you can have a pretty good, you can set a good standard if that's your end goal, which it should be your end goal anyway. But if you're going into a situation and you're like, yo, I'm going for marriage, then yeah, you got to make a couple of sacrifices. You got to be willing to say, a lot of times you got to be willing to work on things more than things going smoothly, because no situation is perfect. No situation is perfect. I think the bond becomes stronger with time. Time and understanding, and the hand of the most high. He always put his hands on situations, so you definitely got to give praise to that, and be willing to it at when dating. Let me go from the marriage. Be willing to have an understanding that people are critiquing you. People are looking at you a certain way. You might think you're top tier fruit, but you might not be. You have to have, to certain people. But you also have to have that understanding that people are not going to see you how you want to be seen, right? And take that and move with it. Like don't let that be like the end all, because just because they say that about you doesn't mean that that's necessarily you. Have the ability to, say who you are for you. You know, and that's a whole fact out there. You can call in. Numbers excluding the course of screen. Thank you, Donna, for putting that in. I appreciate you. So, top tier fruit. It sounds good. It's probably the best ever. If you can get it. I'm sure there's great women in that for me. For I'm gonna say women. So I'm talking about women in that spectrum, right? But I know that that's gonna just take a little bit more to get to it. I got to build this ladder being more successful. Um, to get everything I want in a woman, but I'm willing to sacrifice some of the things to get what makes me happy. What generally makes me happy. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to say if it makes me happy, I can overlook a lot of other things as long as I'm happy. And that's the
Right,
bottom line.
right. And I think that should be everybody's goal. And I'm sure that's everybody's goal. I mean, that ain't anything you have to question.
Yeah,
I think.
sometimes it's not though. I've seen women that'll deal with, not to cut you off, but I've
Oh,
seen
go
women
ahead.
that'll deal with men with bad character because they make six figures.
Okay. All right. You got me a new perspective, brother. Yeah.
They definitely will. And you're like, why is she dealing with that? It's because she can change her furniture every season. Change her.
Yeah.
He's giving her free range of that, but
But
she
that
got to
would
put.
kind of, but that would
That.
kind of go. My bad, brother. That would kind of be towards the path though of money making her happy though, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because if you look at it, all right, let's look at it from the brother's perspective, right? You with your homeboys and they like, man, why you dealing with her? She turns around, you see the big old booty. There we go. So he's
Mm-hmm.
only dealing with her because of the big booty. His
Right.
happiness is coming from that.
Right.
So I just think everybody got their own happiness. And I
Mm-hmm.
think what we traditionally bring up, I'm throwing up air quotes. I know y'all can't see me out there, but when you bring up traditional happiness, you think of somebody skipping down the street, with the umbrella twirling and all that shit, in the rain, just happy, right? But there are some evil, individualistic people that would just be with somebody for money or sex, and that's what makes them happy.
Mm-hmm. Would you do it?
My younger days, yes, I've. That's why I said I had to tweak my shit. I had to
Mm-hmm.
grow as a man. Definitely, I can't help it. It was a smile and a big butt that always got me, and it can ruin you. It can fuck you up if you're not
If you don't,
careful.
how did that? How did it? How did it? What? How did that end? That how did that end for you? You mind me asking?
Oh, the stress, brother. I mean, the stress, of course, man. The my
Did she
home.
cheat on you?
No, but she didn't respect me like I should have been respected.
Mm.
I don't feel like even at that time and point in my life that I was a horrible man, or, a bad or a financially crippled man. I don't feel like I've ever been that at any point because I never asked for anything. But I think when it came to me and her, and a lot of other women, it was just us. It was just your carnal desires. It was all physical at that point. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really know each other. We didn't know each other when we were sexing. We just knew it was sex and it was good. And I think that at that point when you're young, I think in every man's life, I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm gonna speak for every man, but you find something that you value, and it might not be the greatest thing to value. Some men even just value being around women, or even receiving money from a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we all have our quirks that you have to grow out of as an adult. And I think as an adult, I think I can handle my shit more than I did when I was younger. That's not
Mm-hmm.
to say that I don't like big butts and a smile, but that's not the only thing that keeps me around. Like it may have been in your early 20s and shit. Where your hormones is just jumping and shit.
Right. So do you think that money can get that the kind of respect you were looking from the for the girl with the big butt? You think money would have got the respect from her?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. Because we wasn't compatible, brother. We wasn't. She wanted. I don't know if she wanted a more square person or a more gangster person, but we just wasn't compatible in that fact. And for as an example, have you ever dated like a female that you just didn't click, but you were always around? It could just be me. Maybe I was just around, like you just didn't click. Maybe you felt like she was better suited with somebody that was more aggressive, or maybe you've been with a woman where you were aggressive and she didn't really receive it too well. It was kind of
Mm-hmm.
like that. I think I was more reserved, and I think she needed somebody more her height. more so. So we
Right.
didn't click. We didn't click in that sense. You know what I mean? We wasn't as compatible as we should. And you should never force compatibility too. So
Uh-huh.
always remember that compatibility is the key also, just like communication. So if you don't have a lot of shit in common with your mates or your partner, if you will, just call it off because more than likely you guys are just wasting your time.
Yeah. So would it be safe to say that's how I feel. Would it be safe to say that we can put people that are having compatibility issues in the middle because we're different human beings, so it's going to be hard to find that person that we're compatible with, and that's not an unreachable goal, and that's not an unrealistic standard to have. Like we have to be compatible. You agree?
Well, yeah, brother. You gotta be patient, man. There's somebody for everybody, even that person that you're compatible with. I just think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us aren't patient because we get sucked into these TV channels and the tabloids that say you're 45 and you still haven't been married. You're still doing this and that. Well, it's because I haven't found that right person, man. Get off my
Mm,
heels. You feel me?
right.
So I think you got to be patient, man. I know that's hard for a lot of people in this day and age, but patience is a virtue, man. If you be patient and you have to talk, you have to open up your mouth,
Mm-hmm.
talk to your mate, get to know your mate. You can find your mate that you're compatible with.
Absolutely. I
It's real
agree.
easy.
I definitely agree with you on that one, brother. I'm like this. Compatibility is really, 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 really important. And I know myself that I'm a challenge. And I tell that to people. I tell that to women. Like, I'm different. I'm not I'm not I'm not gonna be easy. And it might scare them off because they might start thinking, like, yo, what is he talking about? But I'll be upfront with them about that because, bro, I had some real serious trust issues.
I hear
Yeah,
that.
I find it really hard to trust women now.
Yeah.
And
Where does that come
a
from, brother?
combination of things.
I'm
Combination of
all
things.
ears. I'm all ears, brother.
Um, the type of women I've known growing up as a young man, I've known I've had family members that were, hustlers, quick on their feet type of people, all about that bag every day, hustle grind. As women, you know, you don't think women have these type of personalities, but a lot of the women in my family, after like their first man, a lot of them didn't find another steady um man to help father their children or whatever the case may be. So they became those type of women. All right. So seeing them the way they deal with men, being on the other side because when I grew up once I grew up and I became the man, I remember looking at it as a kid and hearing, the women talk about the men that they were, in the situation where, oh, I'm just using them for the money, girl. Just hearing those conversations, just being around, and now I see why like grown folks be like stay out of grown folks business because that was very impactful for me. So I've seen a lot. So it was like, oh man, I know how no matter how sweet that woman may be or how homegrown she seemed, I done seen those type of women do men, take their money, steal, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? That part. Then there's, and this is serious to me. Being in serious relationships, what I consider to be as a young man, what I consider to be as a serious relationship, way too early. I should have never taken any situation as serious as I did as a young man, right? And just being with women that never had the same thing in mind as I do, and finding myself on the short end of the stick all the time because I love hard. That's just me. I've always been that type of guy. And then my last situation, the way it ended, I definitely don't want to go down that road again. So that's why I've had a lot of trust issues. You know what I'm saying? Like I got real serious trust issues, bro. Like on real shit. Like,
Yeah,
and I know it. I know it.
I can hear it, brother. I can hear it. I definitely wanted to bridge on what you were saying about women, older women. So like, when you were a kid, a little grasshopper, and your aunties, you'll see your aunties arguing with, this new guy they had. And then, you couldn't figure it out. You couldn't quite figure out what was going on. And then you would overhear, the grown ups saying that, y'all need to get out of here, you in grown folks' business or some shit. I could never understand why people, and this isn't just women, because I see dudes do the same shit. I got homies that do the same shit. I could never understand why people would be with somebody that they complain about so fucking much. I
Uh-huh.
never understood that. That to me just seems so mind boggling. And this might be why I could be cordial with my exes, because we didn't stay with each other for toxic reasons and shit, because we just wanted to be around each other or shit like that. It's like, no, I got my own shit, you got your own shit. You go your way, I go my own way. It's
Mm.
all respect and it's all love. But then you see, when I was coming up, you would see, your aunties is in horrible relationships, and all they did was complain. He ain't shit. He ain't. So leave him. I'm confused. Same shit. Like, if your woman ain't doing this and that, she can't cook, she don't want to have sex with you, why don't y'all just break up? But then it comes down to other little psychological variables and shit. Like, well, I've been with her for this long. It was a duration I've been with her. So now I feel like now they feel like they're obligated to be with that person. I've never gone through this shit. I never wanted to go through this shit, because when I tell you I don't want to be stressed, I don't want to be stressed. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
laid back, fun kind of guy naturally. So I like to be at peace. You know what I mean? I like to be at peace. So I don't like that drama shit. So with me, it's easy to just cut shit off, and it's been like that since I was young.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everybody got that homie or that home girl. Like, why you with her? Why you with him? You should never have to
Uh-huh.
say that. Never should have to say that in a relationship. You should never have to say that in a relationship. Relationships are
Uh-huh.
supposed to be a partnership, bro. It shouldn't be no work. It should be a little work, but it shouldn't be like it's you're miserable in this shit. Not that kind of work. It should be a work where you tweak yourself to your partner's uh, desire, or I wouldn't really say preference. You guys are just editing yourself to be with each other a little bit. You're not changing yourself, but you tweak other shit. There's certain shit you wouldn't say around your mate, and there's certain shit that you wouldn't do around your mate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just that kind of shit.
And I'm glad you said that though. Great point. So with that also came another problem that was brewing. Like uh my self esteem. So my self esteem also contribute to my trust issues, bro. Like I'm here I am like feeling like it's me. In the multiple times the situation ended unfavorably. some of the times I felt like it was me. You know, maybe I need to look better like this. Maybe need to look better like that. Like it's a lot of that going on for me. Right. So within that also was building and brewing, like I said earlier, was my character. Bad character. Really bad character. You know, because automatically I'm gonna be defensive. And a defensive alpha Libra is not a good mix, bro. I've known that because seeing other way other energy, other Libra energy is, you know, witnessing that. I know that I'm just as bad as them, like as being, you know, argumentative. Like I'm
I
very
feel you. I feel
argumentative.
you, brother. I feel you, brother. You ain't the only one, brother. I think we as men, we have some self-esteem issues too, man. It's not just women. For me, it's my calves and shit. I want bigger calves. I feel like I got these small little chicken legs, so I go to the gym. I gotta bust out these squats and shit, man. You know what I mean? And for me, I don't. This is just advice, brother. That that I'm giving to you, brother. For
Mhm.
me, I take time not to deal with women when I feel like my self esteem is bad or my mental was coming down. Because what you don't want to do, my brother, is project that on women, because then they're gonna smell that and feel something wrong with you, or you know what I mean. There's something not quite right with you, because women do love confidence. So I take a break, and I try to get in the gym. I get in the park and try to get my jog on, and I work on me. I read a lot of books, and then when I get to the certain level that I feel like I need to be at, when my self esteem is booming, I know I'm the shit. My pocket's big. I'm good. Then you can start approaching women, and with the mental healthy mindset versus being in the gutter with your mind, and then projecting that onto a woman, because that's never good too, and it's not good for yourself either. You don't want that kind
Uh,
of mindset. You want to be in a healthy mindset, physically and mentally, and spiritually. So
I
that's
respect
what
that.
yeah. And this is I tell my homies this too, man. I'm like, bro, why don't you just take a break from women, bro? Get your shit together, man. It doesn't necessarily mean money and that other shit. It could be mental, man. Get your head into these books, man. Watch a couple documentaries every other day. Do something, or go to school. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just do something that gets your self esteem boosted. It doesn't always have to be physical. I'm just dropping some examples, but because I use all this shit, man. I think we all, at least myself, I get to a point where damn, I need to get my cash right, man. I need to work on some words and expand my vocab. And when I get to a certain level, I'm like, damn, approach women again. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm straight. You know?
Yeah. And you know why that's right? You know, there's two things that I did that's definitely that's why that's great advice. I started, you know, not a whole garden, but I started doing plants. I got a tomato plant and I got a basil plant. I got a
That's good, brother. That's good. That's good.
right, and I got a dog. I got another puppy. I got another Rottweiler. So I definitely find that you know that knowledge you just gave to be very very potent, my G. Like that's some real shit right there. You can't say it no better than that. Take time away from women and get your mind right, because I know that's what I had to do. I know I'm in a better space now that taking time off for it and I'm just chilling. And I'm not gonna say like because I do get approached by women like if you know they'll let me know that they want me to but I just won't go as like him as I used to would have, because I know like I have a lot of mental inconsistencies. Like one day I'm this and then another day I'm something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
That's good. That's good. You gardening, brother. That's good, man. I want to learn how to garden. I want to grow some
yo, my
tomatoes and shit, man. I just learned how
tomato
to
plant.
cook.
Yeah,
I just
yeah, my
started
tomato
cooking,
plant
bro.
too. Go
Oh,
ahead,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
bro. Oh, my bad.
I
I
said,
was just gonna say I just started learning how to cook, brother. It's crazy what you can learn on YouTube, man. I just started learning all this shit on YouTube, man. All the recipes and making desserts. Got it all from YouTube, man.
yo, man, you know you can ask your brother chef, man. I one of the best, my nigga. Like real
Right.
shit.
I got you.
Any tip you need, my nigga, I'm here for that.
I got you, brother, for
Got some
real.
food videos on the channel. If you wanna look at how to make certain shit, I got food
Yeah.
videos on there. Or just ask me, my nigga. Like that
I,
number you can call me. Like,
real
yo,
shit, bro. I got you, bro.
about to smoke this brisket. What you think? What type of wood? Anything, man.
Yeah.
I got you on that.
For sure. What did you learn how to cook, brother? You don't mind
I
me
went to
asking.
I went to culinary school for 2 years,
Oh, okay. Cool, cool.
and then I've been working as a chef for over 17 years.
Damn, yeah, you experienced.
Uh huh. Oh no,
Damn.
I'm really really good, bro. Like,
Shit,
yeah,
I
I'm
bet.
serious. Like, I got a
Yeah,
thousand recipes in my brain, bro.
yeah,
Like,
man.
I can show
I'm
you how
just
to make a
start.
beef
All
from
right, brother.
scratch. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah. I couldn't even hear it 'cause I think he was cutting out a little bit. But yeah, I just barely started to mess with it, man. You know, like I said, I'm single, so I didn't, I don't have a woman cooking for me and shit like that. So I was like, man, it's time to learn how to cook, man. It's a lot of meals, man, that I want to eat that I didn't know how to cook before that now I know how to cook. But I just always had a hunger and a hankering for them. But I was like, man, I got no woman, man. You know what I mean? To cook that shit for me. So I was like, man, let me check YouTube. And man, it's just been gold ever since, man. I just been cooking like a chef, bro. Not you though. You will kill me though. You there, bro?
I said I can teach you how to cook in 7 days.
Seven,
Make you a great chef. Give
7 days. Oh,
give
okay.
me 7 days. I'll get you the mother sauce. I'll give you everything basic and traditional. From basic and traditional, you add your own touch to it. You be good.
Oh, for sure, man.
You
Definitely.
be good.
I'm gonna have to get your email, man, before we get off.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no diggy. I got you. The email is socially balanced soap at gmail.com. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. Matter of fact, just I'll
I'll put it in
come
the
back.
chat.
Yeah, yeah. Put it in the
So
chat or something. Yeah, yeah. I'll pick it up later on the replay or something.
yeah, in 7 days, bro, you'll be top chefing. You'll have that confidence. I guarantee it. Yeah, that's a guarantee.
What what kind of wood what kind of wood do you that you normally barbecue? What do you suggest is the best to barbecue with?
Applewood.
Apple wood.
Because it's got sweet notes, and it also lends itself to the meat. Like, let me see. I don't know if you eat bacon, but you ever had applewood bacon?
I think so.
Well, you'll
I'm I'm
definitely
I'm not too
you'll know.
familiar with all the wood and all that and the coals. I'm not too familiar with that. I usually just buy like the cheap shit that got the white guy on it
Oh, okay,
and
I
then
know.
just barbecue. Yeah, yeah. It's the basic shit.
Yeah, nah,
Yeah.
man. Get you some of the wood chips, bro.
hmm
It definitely elevates your barbecue game.
I'm gonna
Definitely
have to
adds
try that.
another element to it, man. You'll want to barbecue everything. Like I smoke everything, bro. Like I don't care. Turkey
Yeah.
breast, turkey wings. I smoke it first.
Oh, you
Yes,
smoke them first. Okay.
yeah, and then like you can once you smoke it, you can do some special to it later. So like say like you smoke a turkey breast, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
you'll wrap it with plastic, you'll saran wrap it with plastic and cool it in the refrigerator overnight. Now you've got yourself, you got deli meat. You know how you go to the store and you buy smoked turkey?
Yeah.
You'll have that right in your own refrigerator.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Less salt, less salt, less injections. 'Cause you know they inject that deli meat.
Yeah. Well,
And
isn't it like water or something? Like
yeah,
more
it's
water
water,
or something? And
um,
salt?
yeah, salt, a lot of salt. That's
Mm.
what I say. But yeah, man, you'll have your own right in your own refrigerator. I do crazy stuff with it, and then you can take that same turkey breast, right,
Mm.
and coat it and fry it and have turkey chops, my nigga.
Mm. Man, I'm gonna barbecue tomorrow.
Turkey steaks off the chain.
Damn.
You do a lot of stuff once you smoke it. And smoking it, it's like a way they used because back in the day they didn't have refrigerators, so you had to preserve your meat some other kind of way. Some people dried it, some people did cured it, and a lot of people smoked their meats. So just because you smoke it doesn't mean you can't do something else to it. Hence, we put smoked neck bones in our greens and things,
Mm.
and it also rehydrates the meat. And now you got smoked neck bones, collard greens. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely another element to cooking, smoking. So anything that I know, bro, I'm willing to tell you. It don't matter to me. Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah, for sure, bro. I'm gonna get your email, bro, for sure.
Yo, can somebody put socially balanced soap? Oh, I was supposed to do it. My bad. We started
It's
talking.
I know, right? It's some real shit, man. I just want to
Yeah.
get my cooking game up, man. So I'm just starting out with it and shit.
All right, there it goes in the chat, Dome. Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna screenshot it right quick, man.
No doubt. Yeah, so surviving love, like is all me. So that's why it always takes a little time for me to come with the topic. And the topic today was inspired by two beautiful women in my life, direct family, and having a discussion with them about standards, lowering standards to find someone that they like. Because I sat and had a conversation with them, and they were at a standstill on certain things, and they weren't budging. And they're later on in their life, so they're not budging, even though time is coming, close to time is ticking. Let's just say that, and they're not budging on their standard. They're not. They don't even care. So it got me saying because I've been lowering my standard. I've been lowering my standard, and so it got me to thinking like, um, what if I start to be like them? Would that be worth it? Would I cut myself off? It made me start thinking like that. So that's why I came up with the topic tonight, and that's why I wanted to talk about it because it's just been on my brain. And me, I'm funny like that. Like the things that I think about, the things that go on in my life is my content, and I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed to say that. In my free time, I brainstorm about finding the right person about me. On my YouTube channel, I exert energy about finding the right person for me. I have conversations with people who are interested in having relationship conversations because I'm interested in finding that right person for me. You know, so that's where that's what motivates the content tonight. Um, and the conversation again, it was a powerful, moving conversation because women were just like content. Like I'm not dealing, and one of the ones was dealing with a man, an older man with younger babies. They're not budging on that. Like the babies that the guy had was like 2 years old, and they were like, I had to break it off with him because that's too young. And the
Yeah.
other one that they said they wasn't dealing with was a guy, an older guy who's saying that their child is their everything. Like they devote a lot of time to their child, and they're not gonna be with anybody who child is their everything. And that's what kind of like struck a nerve for me because I've always felt like my child is everything. You know what I'm saying? And it had me thinking like, is that really a bad thing? So I had said something to them, and then they explained to me why um they would say that because you know the guy was wanting to spend more time with the child than with them at that age. So that's what
Uh,
kind of like gave me the motivation for the topic tonight.
I think over time, I think the one of the things that we had said was age, and I think age plays a huge factor when you're talking about looking for a mate and dealing with a mate. Um, I kind what I, how what do I mean? For example, if you're like 50 years old and that long ass Bible scroll that you have as a list isn't working, you might have to cut it down the middle. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I think that because sometimes we ask for unrealistic shit, and this doesn't mean that you have to lower your shit. It just means that maybe him driving the Ferrari, driving the Honda versus the Ferrari, shit like that. You know what I mean? Because somebody might have a Ferrari on the list, but nah, he can't afford that, so he got a Honda. Just little shit like that. And at some point, you have to ask yourself, why are you single? What do you bring to that mate? If a woman messes with me, what am I bringing to the table?
Mm-hmm.
Do I offer her protection? Will she be safe? Is she gonna eat a meal every day? What do I bring? And at some point, you have to figure out why you're still single after a certain age and time. You know, because you could say you want to be single, but once you get like 50 and you still, going through this little list and shit, and you realize other people are getting married and that they're pairing off. There's certain shit. This is why I said you have to tweak certain shit. Now, it doesn't mean lower your shit. It just means tweak your shit. That's all it means. Just for the dating field that you are in.
Yeah.
Because
So
we because all
if
right,
a
brother.
younger woman, if a younger woman had I mean, the older woman had a young baby, say she's in her 50s, 60s, and she had a baby that was like 2, 3 years old. Would you date her still?
Would I take her serious, brother?
Mm-hmm.
Uh I would want to know why she did that at 50 or 60, had a child, because your life is like practically half done, in my opinion. And I'm just
Uh-huh.
going off, the statistics in, America. It's like half done. Why would you, have a child at that age? Um, it doesn't mean that I wouldn't mess with her. It just depends on what kind of person she is. You know what I mean? For me, it doesn't mean that I wouldn't. I'll probably still talk to her if she, if we're compatible and all that.
I'm
I,
with you on that. That's how I felt. Like
yeah.
I felt. But the two women I was talking to yesterday, I don't know. If me, you was 50 or 60, and we had a young baby, and we had to tell them that, they was gonna mess with us. After.
Yeah, well, see, that's ignorance on their part, man. Because this
Is it
once
really though?
again, yeah. Because look, just think about it. When I brought up age,
Uh
there
huh.
let me expand on that. There are women and men that are missing out on mates, bro. You are missing out on mates because he doesn't drive a Ferrari. He drives a Honda. And I know you don't like that, but he drives a Honda. He could be a great person. And you're missing out on that shit. He could be treating you real good. Everything that you want in the guy that treats you good, that has those the characteristics and the traits that women like, he has that. He possessed that, but he doesn't drive a Ferrari. And these little ass things is the end all be all. You know what I mean? These things are basically writing off men, and these things
Mm.
are basically writing off women. You writing off women because yeah, she does have a kid, dude. She could be an awesome fucking person, though, bro. Awesome, like real awesome person. But you're letting that kid get in the way of that. So get to know that person doesn't mean that you're lowering your standards because a lot of people think that you're lowering your shit. But to me, it's just tweaking. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion. To me, it's just my opinion
No, no,
because
I hear
you don't want to miss out on a great mate, and this is for brothers and sisters. You don't want to miss out on a great mate because you never know who's out there for you. It might not be that person that you dream of. You know what I mean?
so. Latasha says, especially because my child isn't grown, he's still a baby. I'm not going to put a man before my child. Never. Ain't no way. Ain't gonna go. So if a man isn't willing to accept your child, you absolutely shouldn't deal with him.
Facts.
Absolutely. You should
Facts.
never put that type of man around your child. Ever. Ever. If he's not kid friendly, don't even don't even lower your standards. Like always keep your child at the most high. Don't
Right.
never lower your standard for that. Ever. I don't care if he the best looking guy in the world, G2, all the money type of nigga. If he's not showing your kid no love, there's no space for him in your world. No doubt, Latasha, I agree with you on that one. Donna just
Right.
being real. Yeah, yeah, hit that like. Even y'all in the bush. That's a whole fact. So so last night when I had the conversation, right? And it was getting crazy. I think we stayed up till like maybe 1 o'clock talking about this. Um if they were willing to say that and they were willing to stand at their age, right? I think that at a certain point we start to accept the single person. Us being, I'm single, so me being accepting my single. I think that we become comfortable with that because I know I have. Like I no longer have a need to wanna like hunt, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I'm just good. I go to work, come home, chill. If I do have conversation with a female, I definitely appreciate that
Same here.
conversation.
Same here, brother. It's the same shit. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
Nah, go
Same
ahead.
shit.
No, it's an
No, no,
open
no.
conversation.
Because it's really this. It's literally the same shit. Actually, I work, you work, and you try to hit the gym in and shit. I like to go to the park and shit. The park is like my second home, and then that's really pretty much it. Especially since the COVID hit. I can't go to the bars because I like the bars. I like to go to the
Uh-huh.
bars, and I have a bar right up the street from my spot. So I like to go to this bar right here. It's a good bar. It's cool. Can watch some sports, get your peanuts, get your beer on and shit, and that's it, man. I'm not. I think for me, I'm past the whole predator stage, man. I don't really. I'm not a hound like I was in my 20s, man. I think that I can actually be around women and not get to where I have to be a predator and a hunter like that anymore. And that doesn't mean that you don't have any interest in women or anything like that. It's just that when the right woman for me comes around, I'll know it. You know what I mean? I'll
Hmm.
know by conversation or just how we're engaging with each other that this is a woman you want to spark something with.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times that you have a lot of thirsty people that just holler at people just to do the shit because they can do the shit, and that's
Hmm.
not really how the compatibility and finding a great mate works. That's why a lot of people end up with the problems and shit that they end up with because you're thinking with your private parts and you're not talking.
Hmm. And another thing that they said in the conversation, they said that um, dealing with a man, remind you, these are women, older women, dealing with a man with children on child support. They're not dealing with that. They're not lowering their standards for that either. How do you feel about that?
But what was that? Can you repeat that again, King?
They said they're not going to deal with a man who has child support, even though he might be taking care of his kid and all of that. They're not dealing with a man who's on child support.
Okay, so once again, this will just come back to that person just not for you because there are some women out there. I talk to a lot of sisters. I have homegirls that deal with guys that are paying child support and shit, who are trying to be in their kids' lives and all that shit. So it might not these people, these women, whoever you were talking to or dealing with, they're just not for you, brother. You got to find
Yeah.
somebody that wants to deal with you and deal with what you got going on because I don't want to call it a situation. I don't think what's going on in anybody's life is a situation. Just like that sister in the chat said, if I don't accept her kid, then I can't fuck with her. And that's
Hmm.
perfect because that means that's the standard that you're setting. You know what I mean? So if that person, I don't know if you said you guys were having a conversation, I think.
Yeah, it was a
But
conversation.
yeah, so if they can't, even in the general sense of you guys just talking, or if you were talking off the thing too, if they can't accept the situation or not the situation, the things that you have going in your life, then they're just not for you, bro. They just shouldn't be
Word.
around you. You know what I mean? That's just my thing. Just don't be around me, then we're good. It's a good thing that they let you know off top too, so you don't have to waste anybody's time. So I actually applaud that because they're not wasting your time.
Exactly.
That's my opinion, though. Just my
No,
opinion.
it, that I agree with you on that. Like that's a whole fact. Um, but like I said, there's some women that will not deal with you. So to them, on you, always be that man, no matter what. Don't let nobody ever make you feel like you shouldn't take care of your kid. But for them, as that person, as those two people I was talking to, they were narrowing, they were narrowing down to their search down to them being single for a really, really long time. Because at that age, you're more likely to run into those type of situations
Mhm.
than more likely not to. Is what I was saying, and I'm not talking about the young baby. I'm talking about men that are in their children's lives in that way.
Right. Can I add on that too, brother?
Go ahead,
I
good
wanted
brother.
to, yeah, I wanted to add too. Men also can do that shit too, and I've seen brothers with kids that say I wouldn't date that broad if because she has this many kids and this and that. I'm thinking to myself, but bro, you got like how many kids? So I'm like that shit, it kind of becomes a little bit hypocritical too. And this ain't
Mhm.
towards you. This is towards like like homies you meet in like real life and shit, where they say shit like this, and it's just like we have to. This is where being realistic comes in. You see how everything is a circle. It comes around. You have to be realistic, bro. You got kids yourself. So how could you say shit like that? You know what I mean? You know what I mean towards women. You know what I mean? Because you have kids, she shouldn't have to accept that. You know what I mean? So I think it's just for me, it's circular, man. It's living in. A lot of people just have this fantasy world that they live in, and they feel like everybody has to fit their perspective of a mate, and they have to be perfection. You know, you want this woman that physically, mentally great. You want this man that's rich, muscular, all of these things. But that's just like a fantasy world, man. You got to come to earth. You got to look at what's real. You know what I mean? Because you might not find that. And if you and I want to
Right.
add another thing. When you look at the average people, that the people um that are not celebrities or anything, that are happy, they probably would tell you that they had to sacrifice a lot of shit for them to be together. They probably would say, what I hear from a lot of old people, they said they wasn't even attracted to each other when they first met, but
Uh-huh.
they grew on one another. And these are older people. You know what I mean? I mean, I talked to different random people that been with each other for a long time, but it seemed like they didn't even have a lot of shit in common when they met each other, man. But they took the time to get to know each other. So I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. These are
Nah,
all
you
my
right.
opinions too. Yeah, this is
Nah,
a fact.
yo,
So
yo,
this is
keep
all my
spitting that
opinions.
real. Keep spitting that real, my nigga. It's that real. Latasha says, I think the only thing I want to stand for is the baby mother taking advantage of the situation and asking for excess amount of money beyond child support. And that's exactly why the women that I was having the conversation with yesterday, that was their same reason. And it's just pretty ironic that um she's saying that she's being a woman, that they they feel like the child's mother will be taking advantage of the situation. That's why they said they wouldn't deal with a man. Ultimately, that's why they said they wouldn't deal with a man that's on child support. So they're not lowering their standards for that.
Okay.
And we got
Okay.
another king. Jack Newton is in the house. Salute.
Jack, salute, brother.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What up? What up? What up? What up?
Yeah, I see
Brother.
we having a very astrophysical conversation.
You trying? You
You know,
you,
I
you
Trying,
trying to
mean,
help?
brother.
You trying to help me
y'all
out,
bring a
Jack?
lot of good knowledge and information
Uh,
to the chat, and I was listening in the background. And I said, well, yeah, I mean, let me see if I can get in and get soak some of this information.
most definitely, most definitely. I want to add too, by the way, for the brothers and sisters out there. I don't have any kids, so this is not from no statistical data facts. This is all shared 100% my opinion for everybody out there listening. This is just my opinion on everything, because I don't want people to be like, "Oh man, no, that's not true. That's not no. This is my opinion. That's all. I just want to give my opinion because I don't have
Talk
any
your talk.
kids, so I couldn't come from the certain perspective.
Talk your
That y'all
talk.
can come
Yeah,
from.
we understand, Dome, that
Mhm.
you're a single man with no
Mhm.
children, so you
Right.
know you can have a little bit more leeway, as they call it. Um,
Fact.
now me, I have a grown daughter, so I got to deal with somebody who has children as well,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
because that would make sense, you know. Um, and I think it's about being equally yoked.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
think some people out there have it to where they have this superficial ideology of dealing with somebody that maybe they're not at that level where they should be. Um, but in a way, some of them feel like they're entitled to have something that they never really worked for. Um, and like I said in the chat, what do you want to sacrifice to get to that person that you truly desire? Or you want to settle for someone that may not check all the boxes in your idealistically mate that you want to achieve and eventually marry. You can do either sacrifice what you can, to get to that person, or you might have to kind of lessen the check boxes on the type of mate that you prefer. What are you willing to tolerate is the question.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone's willing to tolerate the same things as some will. And you just got to find that person that you're more at least I say at 85% compatibility level. I know that's really tight,
Facts.
but at least you will have a better chance of understanding each other and having a if you have your ups and downs, at least you know how to make those in order to deal with those battles and eventually overcome. Uh, and I think social media is the reason why a lot of people today have superficial ideas of what a mate should be. It's because of the influence of social media, this culture, television, propaganda,
Talking
basically.
your stuff, Jack. Damn, you good. Go ahead,
Yeah,
bro.
all these filters and these you got to look a certain way to get this, you got to look that way, you got to act this way, you got to act that way, you got to play to this particular tune to be this, you got to do this. I mean, it's like the media's telling you who you should and should not be with. It's gonna, if we don't get it together and at least check out at least 4 of the 7 boxes, we're going to be at a point to where we're going to have non-human interaction relationships. It's going to be to the point to where, because now they're making what you call those sex robots and stuff.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the ones who are going to start taking over these relationships pretty soon. At this rate,
I agree.
You guys
a lot of us,
too. You're right.
a lot of us don't understand. This is a sense of urgency, and it's game time, and it's going to be in game very soon if we don't get it together as a people. Otherwise, we're humanity is slowly going to be decayed by non-interaction of other humans.
I think it already has, though, brother. I think it's decayed mentally, which is why we us gravitate to the TV and the radio so much. Because just think about it for a second. The large asses and who's promoting this shit? It's men that's promoting this, but women have to actually make the decision to actually do that. So they're bypassing the whole getting to know me phase and just marketing themselves now. So they become a more of a marketing tool than a human. So we're not even becoming less. We're not even becoming more human. We're becoming more robotic, if you will, kind of like what you just said, brother. And it's becoming more of in the mind we're becoming more zombified, man. Like we all have to look like this. We all have to do this. And I think that the society we already decayed. I believe right now we're gonna keep decaying because I don't even think that people even want realistic conversations because they don't have a realistic mindset. They live in a realm where if you don't have this, you don't have that, I'm not talking to you. If she doesn't look like this, if she doesn't have that surgical ass, I'm not talking or looking at her.
You're right.
We already decayed, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, brother.
You're right. And a lot of that is rap music. A lot of that is the industry. And I can't blame the artists or the ladies that participated in it. More or less of the owners who actually promote this. Because if they want to stop this, degenerate music we got now, the simple thing they can do is not promote it. But you have these owners, what I call them, let's use the slick term, or let's use a good term, the ideal masters that will propagate these type of music and this type of behavior and it projects across the globe to where people would start to look at that as a normal relationship, that you got to have $100 million, you got to have 6 Lambos, you got to be shucking and jiving, you got to be buck dancing, you got to, do all this stuff, you got to do the stanky leg. I mean, you got to have 12 inches, and then with the woman, you got to have a big curve behind, you got to have an hourglass shape, you got to have this particular breast size or this butt size. You gotta look at it. Your skin gotta be a certain complexion. Your hair gotta be a certain texture. You gotta be this. You gotta be You gotta be close to me, but you gotta be a porn star in the bedroom. I mean, it's just unrealistic standards that people put on themselves and each other. Is the reason why there is less relationship goals going on. Is because we put too many idealistic standards on each other, yet we don't even measure the standards that we put other people on.
Mm-hmm. I bet right now, if we looked up a stat of how much body alteration has been done to humans, it'll be at an all time high. Because in order for people to get what they want, society made the body standard. Your body has to look like this, and that's why I said, at so with your 85%, what you said with your 85%, Jack, the physical aspect is definitely going to be in that 15% that I'm willing to not check that box. Like, oh, she didn't check the box all the way on the physical. She had the ass but no tits, and she was all right in the face, or she had the ugly face but she had the ass and the tits. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to put that in the 15%.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That
That's
physical.
where
you're
the
absolutely
tweaking
right,
comes from,
Chef.
brother. That's where the
And
tweaking
don't
comes from, brother. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, my brother.
no, go ahead,
I
sir.
didn't mean to cut you. That's remember what I said, brother, like an hour ago. That's where tweaking comes in. Do you want an empty vessel, a zombified person, or a thing versus a human being, a mate, or a partner? Because you're not gonna find that in artificial body parts. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying, at the end of the day, that's something as a man you have to ask yourself, because I'm telling you, the ones that aren't artificially built in a laboratory, those are the ones that you want. The ones that don't have the hugest breasts, the hugest ass. Those are the ones that are the ride or dies. Those are the ones that are really trying to have a relationship with a person and actually be with that person, and not just be seen as a marketing technique or a marketing scheme because they got surgically worked on.
Mhm.
But go ahead, brother. My bad.
You're right, Dome. People don't want all that, but that's what I was saying earlier about the machines and the robots, the sex dolls, the humanoids that are coming in pretty soon, which they already making as we speak. It used to be a time to where new technology will advance every 5 years. Um, 3 years ago, technology would advance every 18 months. Now is technology advance every 72 hours. New
Mm-hmm.
technology is advancing every 72 hours as we speak. Right now, we're talking. And they are making it to where you will have less human to human interaction. This whole pandemic that's been going on, this whole pandemic, the virus, which it is real, it does exist, and it's slowly grooming us into human isolation, into isolating from away from each other. Stay in your homes, wear your mask, do this, do that, do what master says, do what the ideal masters tell you to do, and it's slowly indoctrinating you to like a robotic mindset, just like at work. Do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Go home.
Mm-hmm.
Do A, B, C, E, F, and G again, and go home. It's they're making you more robotic to where they can condition you to where That's why you have Tinder and Bumble and these dating sites that, which to me is a gamble because you don't know what you're getting in real life. You're only getting what they want you to see.
Mm-hmm.
And the only time you'll know who they really are is when you see them in person. And in some cases, I've heard stories, some terrible stories about some people not being who they really are. Uh, as far
That
as
one football player, right?
wise, but
That football player from Notre Dame. Tateo was his name.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah, he's now the linebacker for San Diego, I believe, or New Orleans. But yeah, Tateo, he met somebody he never met,
mhm.
and come to find out it was a man.
Yeah, you're right. And now you got that issue going on now. It's to where now you have this and if it's okay for me to speak about this chef disaster.
Nah, go ahead, bro.
Okay. I just want to get permission because I don't want to say something and then someone says, Jack, you should never said that. You devil, you evil man, you
You good?
racist
You good?
bastard. That you nowadays you can't tell who's a man and who's a woman. Because the surgery is done the surgery has finessed it so well. To where you can't tell who's a man, who's a woman. And that's another issue we got going on with relationships is that we have those who pose as women or pose as men and want to get involved with somebody instead of being upfront and say, look, I'm a trans woman or a trans man, and are you into me? And if that individual say yes or no, that's up to them. But as far as and I don't believe in violence in anybody, but there's a lot of violence going on the basis of that people were thinking they was with an actual woman and then end up being a man. And that's another problem that's going on in the relationship world to where it's to where like they did what Willie Lynch did to us as far as mistrust. The first thing Willie Lynch did to the slaves was create mistrust. Not kill each other, but to mistrust each other because they really understood the psychological aspect of controlling a slave, not the physical aspect. He did the more psychological perspective of controlling slaves. And this is where we're at. We're at the mistrust level. We mistrust each other. We don't trust. The only thing we trust is what we see. Mm-hmm. And we've gotten now we're at that point to where we're not trustful for each other. Therefore, we're very hesitant of what we really want.
Brother Jack, I wanted to ask you something. Is Willie Lynch? That's the one where he was throwing like meat in like a pit, and like the brothers will fight for it. Is that the
I don't
guy
know. I don't know that far to that level, but I know he was from the West Indies. And
he had the slave codec, right? On how to tame a slave,
yes.
breaking up the family, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So he was the one that basically he would have, us in pits, and this goes to what you were saying. Basically, have us in pits, and he'll throw like some meat or something in there, and he'll have us fight to the death for it. Whoever wins get to have that meat. It was some sick barbaric shit, but yeah.
Yes.
My bad, brother.
Perspective, and all the other slave masters would come and listen to his lectures of how to control their slaves because they had issues with other slaves and their rebellions. Is because see, all these other people in society want to believe that the slaves were just being subservient and they were just being good, just good slaves. No, there's a lot of rebellions. There's a whole bunch of rebellions we don't even know about that occurred, and they were losing money and they were losing power because they had issues with uncontrollable slaves. So they needed. That's where Nat Turner became a point in history. Is because he was a pastor and he read. So they used him around Virginia to control the slaves because he was a preacher. And then Nat Turner realized he was being used and understood who was in the Bible and what he needed to do. That's when he became the problem.
Yeah, man. Those times was crazy, man. Very, very.
But they ain't gonna talk about that in the school.
No, they're
they
not.
don't tell you that no school, Jack. They
No, they'll wake up too many people.
No, sir.
Right.
They ain't gonna talk about Marcus Garvey or
No.
them.
No, hell no.
They ain't
Not
gonna
at
talk
all.
about Dr. Francis Cress Wilson or Dr. Jordan Gray.
All right, Latasha, I see you when you get back. My bad, yo. See you when you get back.
Yeah. And so, but back to the relationship thing is that it's mistrust. We don't fully trust each other. I see Latasha is gonna have to put her baby to bed because he's acting up, but that's okay. You know, he's healthy, doing good. You know, he's eating well. But and that's the future right there. You know, we need more soldiers out there. And it's just the relationship. We have to get it together right now, not later, not in a few days. I'm talking about immediately. They're already making machines to replace a number of people. They're already engaging in experiments to where they take a male rat and they put a uterus in a male rat and they can give birth.
Come on now.
You don't think transgender aren't trying to pull
Really?
that? Hey, when they do the human trial, you don't think for 1 minute Caitlyn Jenner ain't gonna sit up there and get a uterus? Now that is going to be a really mind fuck right there.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just watching Terminator Part 1 last night, and it just makes it seem, because when I watched that, I used to be like, wow, the future's gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when I watched it yesterday, I was like, yo, we living in it right now. What they was talking about, we living in it right now. All that artificial intelligent life, that's what John Connor and Sarah Connor, they was all fighting for us to get to this point right here.
Skynet.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, it will happen. It will. It's just a matter of when.
So I know they can make machines that, because people already don't care about personality, charisma. They already don't
sound
care.
like androids. They sound like robots.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack.
It'll be like Lil B, base robots. They're base robots out there, demi robots.
Have y'all ever seen one of them shows, like kind of like Housewives or Loving the Hip Hop? I don't know if y'all ever seen or heard of that, but I stopped watching that about 10 years ago. But have you ever noticed that when you see like the celebrity housewives and shit, they're always talking about lists of a person. They're not actually talking about is the person good. Like when you hear like a famous celebrity woman talk, she's single or she happens to be immersed in the world of dating. She says shit like, what does he drive and what's the list? Give me a list of shit. I'm like, damn. So you don't even care if he's a serial killer, if he's aggressive, he looks at kids. You don't care about any of that shit. We're so focused on material shit that we don't even care about the human and people these days, man.
So when you
at all.
consider that lowering your standards or higher in your standards, when you don't care about a person's character because he's checking the box financially, he goes above and beyond.
I think about just adjusting. I I think we need the basics. I mean, you need moral character, somebody with integrity, somebody who has a good work ethic, somebody who has at least common sense. Um, we can make adjustments as far as how big her butt is, how big her chest is, or how tall she is, or how short he is. That's nothing. That's minuscule.
Uh-huh.
The more important things is the level of loyalty, the integrity, the work ethic. Are you good with children?
Yeah.
That those are pretty much important.
Are you going to be a good father, man? Not just a father, but are you going to be a good father? I
Right,
think
right.
people don't even. I don't even think women even ask that shit. Can I see myself being with him and him being a great father, not just being a father? So you got to underline that.
Bad. Common sense, Donna. That's right. You must have had a common sense. Um, and I say that because like if a person is financially good, they look good, they got a great mental. Guess what? You're gonna find out about that person that they're off the market. They're taken. They don't. They don't. They don't last pretty long out there when they check all the boxes, right? And then by the time you see them, and the reason why you'll know they exist, like I don't know about you fellas, but me, I've met some of the most beautifulest, intelligent, baddest women in the world, like, and they are married. And it doesn't take away from the type of woman that they are because they're married. It's just that that's when you see good women when they with somebody else. So that's why I'm saying like sometimes like you have to say, um, well, I'm not gonna really care about that so much. I'm a fall back off of that. When I'm gonna lower my stand, it's all right to lower your standards on certain things, but there are certain things that you cannot lower your standard for. Period.
But brother, that usually comes in when the age goes up. Like I
Yeah.
said earlier, people start asking them questions like, "Damn, what am I doing wrong?" Well, you're 50 and you're still looking for a fool with a Ferrari. Remember what I said? You done
Yeah.
probably missed out on your husband, sweetheart, but you so busy worrying about what he driving, what kind of Jordans he got on his feet. That's what I'm saying, man. We missing out on great people over superficial, materialistic shit. And that's why we failing.
Uh huh. Yeah. Go ahead, Donnie. You should. You know you should. One hand washes the other around here. We ain't nothing but some kings having a conversation. Um,
Mm.
it's an intellectual conversation. It's a mind muscle. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an exercise, a mind exercise. I know it is for me, and I appreciate you because, like I said, the title I'm very involved with. I'm definitely surviving love. I ain't lying about that, and I definitely take people's opinion seriously. Like if it's worth, if I feel like it's worth it to listen to, I'm listening to it, and if it makes sense, I'm definitely gonna apply it where it works. You know what I'm saying? So you
Definitely.
guys are definitely bringing that heat
Oh, all
tonight.
y'all are, brother. I'm learning this shit, man. I forgot my notepad, man, but I'm keeping it upstairs. I got my brain, like, you know what I mean? Because I don't have kids, so I always have to sit from a perspective of a student. So I'm learning
yo,
from y'all. You know what I mean? I have to
yo,
talk to my
weirdly enough,
homeboy. Go ahead,
it
my brother.
will work. Yo. It will work, bro. Like this comment,
Mm.
I don't, I'm not gonna blow smoke, man. But weirdly enough, oddly enough, it might not apply right now, but there's gonna be a time where it makes sense, bro. It just does because the not when people used to tell me they used to be like, "Yo, don't do this, young man. It ain't what you want to do. You want to do something else to be a better person down the road." That never mattered to me right then and there, but now, and it should probably happen for every person that you know didn't come from a humble beginning. Now I see what they were saying. Like when people say, "I wish I knew then what I knew now."
Mhm.
So the fact that I know it now, and I can sit and talk to you, and when, it's not even on that. It's just off. It's an experience conversation. Me having the experience is something that you don't have to take heed to right now, but you can use it when a situation presents itself. You can use it
Yeah,
as a landmark.
definitely. And I'm definitely that's probably why I overthink shit, and I make the extra brain kick on the decision I make because if I'm like this woman is a little bit too crazy for me, I might just kick her out because what if she has my baby and on the long term I might have to be with this broad forever. Those are
Mm,
that's the type of shit that go on my brain all the time because I see a lot
right,
of homies that was with women that they look past the stupid shit where you could have just said, man, if she was acting like that then, why did you knock her up, bro? I don't understand that shit. You
right.
know, so I learn from y'all, man. And I'm pretty sure a
That's
lot of
right.
people that don't have kids learn from people that do have kids. I don't think it's just
That's
me,
right.
but I think it's just soaking up the game, man. So you can
Yeah,
learn
just
how to make better decisions.
yeah. Learn from the conversation, like I did last night. Even though I had a total different stance from the women, they had more experience on me, right? So I was willing to embrace that conversation, even though it was a less favorable conversation. And then what I took from the conversation is the discussion that we're having tonight. You have to be willing to understand that not everyone is going to check those boxes. And you also have to be willing to sacrifice and stand on your square if you don't want to be played. And that's the bottom line. Like, because don't be with somebody just because they check the looks department, but not the character department. They check the money department, but they don't take care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? Those are important reasons to not lower your standard. And I need to know that not for the women, but for me myself.
Most definitely. And I've
Because
seen the
I never
bad.
look at myself. I never look I never look at myself from the outside looking in. Like how Michael Jackson said, let's start with the man in the mirror.
Mhm.
I never do that. I always, like I said, I always think I'm the high fruit.
You should. And what I was gonna say, brother, I didn't mean to cut you off. I
You
was gonna
good?
say I seen the bad in person. So if I keep referring to a certain concept, it's because I've seen it. I've seen the homies with that woman that keeps asking for more child support, beating them down, saying, "Oh, you ain't shit, this and that. Why I fuck with you," and then him vice versa saying the same shit. And I'm just thinking to myself, damn, why didn't the fuck y'all just split when you had the time to split, bro? Why have a kid and bring a kid into this shit, man? You know?
Yeah, right. So, like for women, if a man early on he's not, exhibiting behavior of a man, like wanting to keep money in his pocket. He got a car, he keep it clean. He's focused on something. Like most men are focused on something. Me, my focus came on my car. You know what I'm saying? When I got that car, I want to keep that sucker clean. I want to keep it dude, so clean, bro. Like I just love that, having the car. If a man is not exhibiting any kind of motivation in that type of way, that's not a good look. Because he has to have motivation and drive. He has to
Yes.
want to do something. If he looks good and he don't want to do something, he shouldn't look good to you. So
Right.
for and I'm speaking as a man. I'm speaking as a man that could have sons, and if that my sons ended up that way, I would speak of them in that manner. And then for me, like saying a woman, I don't want a woman with bad characteristics because At that time, they're who they are. But that same woman who's turned up and you give her a baby and then you're not together, it's gonna be times 10. It's not gonna she's not gonna be nicer because you gave her a baby, got her pregnant and you're not together and she has to take care of the baby, a majority of the time. She's not gonna be nicer to you. She's gonna get worse. So yeah, that has to come into play. Like you don't think it's gonna get better down the road. It could possibly get worse. So I always look at how a woman speaks. Before I used to be like, I don't care about cursing. And I'm not even knocking none of that. Like I still, you know what I'm saying? But I used to really, really, really didn't care. Like that she wanna have a drink every now and then. I don't care about that neither. You know what I'm saying? I really overlooked that to the T. And that wasn't a good look.
But you know what? We all know why a lot of brothers are messing up their lives behind a lot of women, man. We just gotta be honest, man. It's always the sex.
But
You know what I mean? It's always the sex, man. My bro just like, bro, she do all this crazy shit, this and
WAP,
that. That's what. What happened, brother?
WAP.
Oh,
wet ass.
okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, gotta be that, man, because it's like, bro, you basically looking over all these things that she exhibited, but because she could do all this she could do a backflip in the bedroom, you wanted to put a baby in. I'm like, bro, come
Yeah,
on, bro,
you're right.
more
It's
control
about
with us,
instant
more self
gratification.
control. Hmm.
Yes, sir.
It's all about instant gratification. And like you said, Dome, is that the sex. It boils down to the sex.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I would be concerned if a woman does all those things to me. I'm thinking about hell, she might do this to the next man, or probably is currently doing it to the next man.
Exactly.
As far as we know. So I'll be like, I'd rather deal with a plain Jane than some freak in a bed. Because if she's giving me this much, hell, she's probably giving it to the next one. Uh, I think there was a woman that was on one guy's show, and she talked about her sexual abuse, and it got to the point to where she would scare men off because of her sexual appetite.
Mm-hmm.
Because he would be thinking that she was cheating on him with another man or a bunch of men the way she performed in the bedroom.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That way. I've been that way when I was younger. I'm not even going to front. I'm not even going to hold on my mama. I was that way with this.
Right.
Like she was. I'm like, it's no way. It's no way. Whoever had this before me, ain't thinking about this. Ain't no way. And yo, it runs through your mind. It runs through your mind, bro. Like it don't,
Whoa.
and it sneak up on you. Like everything was good with me and her. Like we was having the best sex in the world. Everything was good, and then we kind of like caught a little break, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go hang out with my homegirls." I'm like, "Wait, what? You got homegirls? Where'd you get homegirls from?" Oh man, all in my mind, I'm thinking she trying to get out there and get something new, man,
Like,
because
where did she
she
learn
enjoys
this move
sex
at?
so much. Huh?
I'm thinking, where did she learn this move at? You learned this with the other guy. I ain't seen you do this before. Where you learn
Right.
this move at?
Queen Donna is in the house. Salute, Donna.
Sister Donna, what's going on with you?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yeah. Where you learn it from? Where did you learn it from? Who
Yeah,
showed
you
you that?
wasn't doing that. You
Is
wasn't
he
doing
dead
that when
yet?
we first met. I didn't see you do that backflip. Where you learn that 360 twist at, girl?
Right. Is he
Hello?
dead? Do I need to kill him? Do I need to kill him? Yes, sir. That's a fact. Yeah, so I know what you mean when you say if it's so good, it makes you crazy too. I'm not willing to go. I'm not willing to go there. I'm not willing to lower my standards for that. I just can't. I can't. I can let go of looks and I can let go to sex because I know that plays with you too. So I used to be like I need sex like so often, so many times a day, so many times a week, so forth and so on. But now, you know what I'm saying, I'm willing to take a little mama that's, she's just consistent with it, I don't really gotta ask for it. I don't like asking for it. That's the whole thing.
Gentlemen, I just want to say one little thing. I'm not gonna stay up here.
Don, you more than welcome. You can take over the channel, Don. Don't stop playing.
I love you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, I just
But
want to go back to what Dome said. Yeah, the sex with y'all men. See, this is what gets y'all,
Hmm.
trapped up in these women. And I'm glad that he brought that up because sometimes if I say that, they get a little upset. No, it's not like that. But and
Sister
especially,
Donna.
yes.
Sister Donna, I don't want to cut you off without apologizing first, but what I said like an hour ago in my early 20s,
Mhm.
what was I doing? I was chasing that big button of smile, man. And that shit, I'm telling you, that's something. And a lot of it was just based on a lot of, you could say rap music, but,
Mhm.
a little of it, is hormones too. Everybody likes sex. It's incredible, feels amazing. But a lot of it too is the peer pressure too. Because when you coming up, you remember even in high school. So this was my early 20s. And a lot of us, I know all the brothers on here, the guys on here know this. When you was in
Uh huh.
high school, oh, how many numbers you got, bro? I bet you can't hit that. I can tap that first. It's a
Mm.
competition shit too. So it's a
Mhm.
different kind of aspect to it. You feel me? But in turn, it can hurt your life. It can ruin your life because you could get that woman pregnant or get a disease. But go
Yes.
ahead, Quinn. Go ahead,
Yes.
sister.
Well said. No, I agree with everything that you're saying, though. I was just want to say is sometimes with y'all men, you get wrapped up into that sex because she started doing a little gymnastic sex, all those little cartwheels, and you know, downtown, all these kind of crazy things downtown and stuff. You know what I mean? Well, she should be saving for her husband, but that's a whole nother topic. You know, and
gymnastics.
hmm yeah,
Well,
gymnastics.
I don't
Yes.
wait, Donna.
Uh-huh.
I've never heard of that. I've
Well,
never heard of no gymnastics.
yeah,
I
that
would definitely
gymnastics
go
sex.
crazy over her. Definitely. I'm admitting it right now on the panel.
You said, I love you, Chef.
Gymnastics?
Hey, we just being real here. So,
Nice.
and y'all men get wrapped up in it. That's why I say, got watch out for these pretty packages. And I think a lot of men, think, especially with these narcissistic women. I'm getting into narcissistic where I'm just gonna be brief. I'm not gonna stay long. I want to stay in the background. Listen, but with narcissistic women, they so phenomenal in the bed. They do all these things, and you get caught up in it. Then later on, you realize, oh my God, I'm sleeping with the devil. The devil was in a pretty package. Yeah, that sex is something. That's why I say with the women, when women have the body and she can do that gymnastic stuff, oh yeah, she locking the man down.
All
It
right.
is what
So
it
you,
is.
so what you saying is don't
Mm-hmm.
lower your standards for looks because she could be crazy.
Exactly. I mean, we
Like
all
she
want
might look
somebody,
good
right?
and she might sex good, but she's a narcissist, low key.
Low key, covert narcissist. You'll never know. Well, you will
Mhm.
eventually find out when the mask falls, and it's the most scariest thing in the world. So
What
people
what
need to.
about
Mm-hmm.
what about the ones that they look good, they look good, they keep themselves up, they on spot every time you see them. And you as a woman, you should know that's hard work and it costs a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
When I get with them, now I become the one who got to take care of all of that.
Well,
Is that
Chef.
like narcissist behavior too?
No, not saying that's just a man who's taking care of his woman. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, the point is, does she appreciate it? Does she give you any gifts in return? This is something that I told my boys to do, like with tests with women. I know I don't have girls, so I gotta talk to them like different. whatever. To get to the point. So I say with test woman, I said, if you give a lady that you with and you give her some money to go shopping, because you know men like to do that. Here, babe, here's some money, go shopping. Now you give her money, she goes shopping, and she comes back, and you ask her, hey, show me what did you buy? I want to see what you buy. Okay, she pulled out everything, but she didn't buy one thing in there for you. Not even, let's say you like a certain type of chocolate. It's at Joe's Chocolate Bar, right? And she
Right.
didn't stop to go get it. It might be $10, $20, not even a lot of money, just a few dollars. That chick is selfish. That's just selfish.
So
She,
what should we do at that point?
well, you just have to peep that you're dealing with a selfish person. She's taking you for granted. She doesn't really
So you still
appreciate
got
you.
to deal with it?
Oh, well, it's on you if you just still want to deal with that selfish woman. I say get rid of who the heck want to be
Get
with
rid
somebody
of
who's
it,
selfish?
Donna.
Yeah,
Donna,
they
get
gotta
rid of
go.
it. Gotta go.
Yeah,
Gotta
tell them
go,
they gotta
Donna. I
kick.
was about to say, Donna, don't coddle her, man.
No, I'm not calling nothing. Just saying, a person want to stay. Like, you have some people, it's okay because they don't want to be by themselves. See, that's when the low self-esteem kicks in. So
Yeah,
people just take anything because they don't want to be alone. Especially a lot of women do that, but we're not going to get into that one.
I
But
know that to be true.
you
Yes.
know, and it's sad to say what I just said to test a person. When you're dating, it is what it is. All right. Anybody who's watching replay, you want to come at me, hey, let's do this because I will battle you on it. But when you're dating, you do have to do a couple of tests when you're dating. It is what it is to see how the person is.
Well,
You know,
Sister Donna, can I add to
yes.
on what
Go
you
ahead.
what you what you what you were saying? Some men can have bad self esteem too, because I know when I was real younger, I had that too, where I felt like I just had to have a woman. If I invested in her, I felt like I had to be with her, even even though it could be toxic. But this is when I was younger, so some men probably could be dealing with that too, not just
That's
women.
true. That's true. You're right,
Just
though.
my
I
opinion.
stand
Just
correct.
my opinion.
I stand corrected. Yes, men and women, and a lot has to do with, unfortunately, our childhood. Unfortunately, the way we was raised. It was unfortunately what we seen in our parents in relationships, or unfortunately what we seen in our environment with relationships. So that kind of passes with us, and we think a relationship supposed to be this way, and we're supposed to accept this because if all your friends is accepting, I'm just gonna say, for example, um, guys, it's like I'm just giving a scenario. Yo, yo, man, yo, why your girl talking like that? Yo, she kind of loud. You gonna handle that, right? Cause my girl talked to me that way. I I handle that. Yeah, you right. Let me go in and handle it. So he gonna whoop her ass. But they think it's just normal. Everybody's just following. And he might didn't really do it, but he's following everybody else. You get what I'm saying? Am I making sense, gentlemen?
Yeah, no, you making sense.
Oh, okay. This one, no, just giving a scenario. But yes, men and women do, have their issues, self-esteem, but a lot has to do with childhood, the way you was raised, or what you seen, and what your environment is. And hopefully you will break out of it. But sometimes some people can't break out of it because they still in that environment. They still around those type of people. So it's hard to break it.
You heard what I said earlier, Donna?
Uh-oh, what did you say? Miss Repeat.
I said how what I saw my aunties in them do. My aunties in them.
I missed that one. Say it. Say it again if you don't mind.
So I was saying as a young man, I used to be in the grown folks business. You know how when you was young they tell you that a grown folks business you ain't supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I that's very true. Little kids shouldn't be around because it impacted me to this day. So there was this one, and she was one of my favorite aunts, and she had this boyfriend, this man, husband, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
really nice, really, I think, like a perfect father, and she dogged him out. She talked about him like a dog,
Wow.
cheated on him, everything, and he did not know. That's how good of
Wow.
a man he was. He didn't even suspect. He didn't even, me. I'm gonna have some sort of. I'm gonna be suspecting something. I'm gonna keep my Sherlock Holmes tight
Mm-hmm.
in my mouth, sitting on the chair. It's gonna be some sort of investigation. But he didn't even nothing. He always
Wow.
was a good man, and he did him crazy.
Sound like my grandmother, the way she did my grandfather. I know that type. Oh, I know that type.
Yeah, so I was saying that,
I'll say this. I'm
what you
sorry.
said.
I had to interrupt. There's a special place in hell for those people.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
You right.
yeah. No,
She
you're
had
right.
herself.
So it impacted me. It impacted me to make me think
Mhm.
like, if you be good to a woman, that could happen to you too. Because what makes you better than him? And I'm nowhere as near as I'm giving him praise, but because he was chill. That's that dude. Like
She had herself
he,
a good
he
one.
took care of he took care of my cousins and them all the way up. Like now, he never stopped, no matter how bad she did him. Like, he went broke taking care of them and her when she would call him
Wow.
with the problems using the kids to get money.
Trifling. Trifling.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying you right about that. Like, I, that's why I was wondering if you heard what I said earlier, because we both made the same point, like different scenarios, but same point.
Mm. And you seen it, and you're a grown adult, and it's still there, and you keep it in the back of your mind. You'll never forget about it.
I'll never forget that. Yeah,
Never.
when my crib, like I tell you, I didn't come from humble beginnings, but when the police kicked down my door and they found like the guns and stuff in the house, from my uncles or whatever, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
None of them was there. None of them was there. It was just the women, the children, and her husband. And he took the charges. And
Oh wow.
they they beat him like he was the world's worst criminal. Like
Oh, this is so
he
sad.
begged to stop. Begged. He was begging for them to stop. And he never committed a crime a day in his life. This guy, when he didn't had a car, he rode his bike to work.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. That's how good of him, and stayed solid. He owns his own limousine company now,
Uh-huh.
but stayed solid. And he got treated like that way by a woman. And you know what?
Uh-huh.
And she was always a lesbian.
Ooh.
That was it. That's what she is now.
Okay.
But she didn't know it then. When
Uh-huh.
she was so aggressive, so that's why I say the personality. She was so she was so like he would say something and she'd be like, "That's stupid." You know,
Mm.
I don't I don't I don't I don't give no pass for that. That's why I said, if you talk to me in that kind of way, like I said, I don't care about the actual cursing, but when you start directing it, I have to let it go.
Yeah, that's a
I,
problem.
I, I
That's
have I will never lower my standards for a woman who talks to me like that. Never.
and no man should. Nobody should.
Yeah. All for that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm.
I seen that. I seen that. I know what that means. That means they don't respect you.
Yeah, straight up, chef. There's no other way to describe. They don't respect you. There's no other way. There's no other way to say it. You're right. They don't respect you,
They don't respect you. So
and
I'll
you
never
cannot have a
lower my
relationship without
standards.
respect. No
Yeah.
relationship gonna work without respect.
Yeah. And people think I'm petty. Like, I'll be like this, and we'll be having a conversation. And I know I'm petty. I don't even care about it. But we'll be having the conversation and we'll be talking. And I'll give you about 3 times to cut me off during the conversation. And I'm done with you. I'm done with the conversation. When it's not a conversation.
I like that one, chef. That's it. It's a wrap.
Yeah. At this point, it's not even a conversation. It's a
3
dictatorship.
strikes, you're out.
Yo,
Hmm.
Jack. It's a dictatorship at that point. You
This is
telling
a
me,
dictatorship, not a democracy.
yeah, right?
There's no other
I
way to
can't.
describe.
I can't leave myself in that situation like that. I never give past to that. And they be like, "Are you serious?" I be like, "Dead serious." Every time we have a conversation, you keep cutting me off, and it's driving me crazy. I'm gonna have a good night for the rest of the day. I'm gonna put the television on. I'm gonna try to find my peace because you
Hmm.
just made me crazy.
That's the best.
Yeah.
You can't argue with insanity, and also you can't fight fire with fire. When a person keeps cutting you off, that is, oh my gosh, that is so rude. That's like a, I guess, a pet peeve with me. I can't stand it. Didn't cut off, cut off. You know,
Yeah.
you ask me a question, let me answer you. But then when you start to answer, oh, da, 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 like, whoa, okay, let me try again. Can I finish answering? Da, da, da. Okay, the
Hmm.
situation. It's time for me to ghost you. Mm-mm,
Hmm.
mm-mm.
I've definitely been. I've been a little petty with that, but I'm not budging on that one. And you find a lot, and you'll find that a lot of people can't do it.
But that's
Do it.
understandable, Jeff. You know,
Can't
we all
do it.
have our deal. Everybody has their deal breakers, and you know, in dating and relationships. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, and don't let people you know, for men and women, I'm speaking for. Don't let them try to manipulate you to go against your deal breakers. You know,
Hmm.
what bothers a person bothers, and another person supposed to respect that and not do it again. But
Yeah.
it's a job for that person to let the person know, the other person know, hey, this bothers me. I don't like when you do such and such. You know, because sometimes things could happen. What we talking about now, I'm getting into communication. When it's a lack of communication, you know, things happen. But when a person, you let the person know, okay, I'm telling you, then you have to tell them again, and they keep doing it. Yeah, it's time to end the relationship. Now they just don't have no respect for you.
Right. Really time. Because if I don't sat and listened to you and I ain't cut you off not once, and
Mm.
I'm doing, you can't return the favor. I get two words into the conversation, and you're like,
Yep, yep.
yo, kind of, I'm done. I'm so done.
You can't even
I'll be
finish
like,
one
all right, all
sentence,
right.
chef. You can't finish one sentence.
The second word, Donna,
Hmm.
they already know they disagree with what you're saying. And I'm like, I ain't finished. Yeah, but I know what you're going to
I
Well,
should
there,
be
laugh,
like
but
psychic
you're
that.
now.
right.
Well, they Miss Cleo.
You know, I
They can
don't know.
predict. They can
I
predict
don't
what you're about to
know.
say.
Yeah, maybe Chevy dating Miss Cleo. Never know, right?
And I'll ask Miss Cleo when I'll become a billionaire. And if you tell me the right date, I'll hang with you. If not, I'm gonna leave you.
Right. I know I sound petty, but I promise you, I
No,
lose a lot that way.
chef, that is not petty at all. That's this total facts. A person supposed to respect another person. If you're having a disagreement, you know, you're supposed to hear each other out. I mean, it's common sense. That's in any formula. Boyfriend, girlfriend, parent and child, co-worker, employer, employee. Let a
Yeah.
person speak. Don't cut them off. That's very disrespectful. It
Uh,
is what
a
it
lot,
is.
a lot of my situations now have been on bad terms because of that, and I'm willing to admit that. I'll never act like I'm perfect up here, trying to find a solution, or at least trying to have a different perspective. If I'm being dishonest, I'll never find my answer. So I always have to be honest to hear what you have to say about it. And I'm telling you the truth. I am that petty. Like it's not a pat on the back. It's just like I said. It's a combination of things, and trust issues, self esteem. Like I was telling Dome earlier, and that it just made me that we can call it feminine energy. I've been called feminine energy because of that.
What? Oh, please.
Yeah, they say I got feminine energy.
Because you want to, you need to say
Who
what you have
say
to
you
say.
got feminine energy?
Women,
Mm.
but I tell them that.
Well, you
I
should
tell them
tell
that.
them. You should tell them they got too much testosterone. They need to go to the doctor to get it adjusted.
He got a point, Jack. Maybe you need to be checked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Voice sound deeper than mine. You got a problem.
See, when a female is saying that, chef, that's called gaslighting. Now she's trying to gaslight you. And see, that's what pisses me off with people, because that's a trigger for me, gaslighting, big time. But I'm not gonna get into that one because I'll get up, you know, get a little amped.
Well, when
But
a guy
When
gaslighting,
they
cut him
gaslight,
off.
get a fire
yeah,
extinguisher over it.
I can't stand gaslighting.
You
It's
cut him
trigger.
off though.
Oh yeah, I learned. I can ghost. I can ghost. I don't have a problem with that.
No matter how much money he got, no matter how good he looked, even if it was Todd Bowles, you cut him off, right?
Whoa, 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 whoa,
No.
whoa.
Oh, see that she
Come on.
rethinking her
Wait,
options.
Donna.
wait.
Donna. What kind
Uh,
of message are you spreading?
well, you didn't. Why do you have to throw him in the equation? Why you have to throw him in the equation?
Because I'm
But
trying
okay,
to make a point.
you're right. Even though it's him, all joking aside. But no, nobody could do that to me because that's all a form of manipulation.
Yeah, gaslighting is bad. And
It
you know
is.
how I deal with gaslighters?
Go ahead, Jack.
I'll strike a match and throw it at them.
Mm.
And people don't realize how serious. I want to really get into. Well, probably on my second channel, I want to talk a lot about with gaslighting. I want to get in depth, but some people don't realize how bad it is. It causes a lot of people, PTSD. PTSD. Am I saying right? Post post traumatic stress syndrome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to say it causes them that, and it really does affect people in all kind of relationships, not just boyfriend and girlfriend. You know, um, employee, whatever, any kind of relationship. People don't realize gaslighting has a lot of effect and really can mess with people's mind. It's basically crazy making. It makes people go crazy.
Right.
To the point that they really lose their mind. Some
You
people
know,
to the
I got a
extent.
lot of skid marks on my car from gaslighters.
Come on now.
There's a way to deal with gaslighters. You just throw a mirror reflection on they behind, they'll cut it out quick. Oh, I ain't gonna sit there
Crazy.
let no I ain't gonna sit there let no gaslight sit up there make me feel bad. I'm gonna make you feel bad before you make me feel bad. You
Mm-hmm.
try to make me feel bad, I'm gonna make you feel worse. You
But
try to make me feel worse, I'm gonna make you feel like you want to jump off the building.
sometimes, Jack, it could be so subtle you don't even know it.
I can
It's
smell
all.
subtleness from 10 miles away.
I
People.
never really knew what gaslighting was.
Yeah, it's like how you say. In a way, I guess you could say it's like different
Microaggressions.
forms. It could be different forms, but it's all kinds of different ways people can gaslight you, and it can be very
Passive
subtle.
aggressive.
All right, a good movie to watch, and you can watch it on YouTube for free. It's black and white. Look up the movie Gaslighting, but watch the black and white movie. That's
Okay.
an excellent movie. I think it was made in the 40s, I think, and then it came out as a Broadway play. But watch it on YouTube. 'Cause I did watch it not too long ago. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna watch it again. But it's a
I
good
will be
movie, and
watching that.
yes, please watch it, and you'll learn a lot. And that's when the gaslighting came out. People learned more about gas. They got the term from that movie, and it was a husband and wife, and he was gaslighting her, and you'll see how he did it subtle, very little things. It's
What's
not
the name?
just.
What's the name of the title, Sister Donna? I didn't mean
Oh
to
yeah.
cut you off.
Oh, Dome, I'm so sorry. I should have been told you about this, my brother, because Dome and I, we always with the movies and stuff. That's a very good thriller. It's called Gaslighting. And but watch the black.
Gaslighting.
Yes, and it's a black and white movie. Watch the black and white one. So we got to go old
Okay.
school. All right, that's where the best
So they
movies at.
have a
Hmm.
so they have a remake.
I think there is like a remake, probably like a color or something, but don't pay that attention. The black and white one, and I did see it on YouTube. I'm about 100% sold on YouTube for free.
Yo, is
But
that the one with the
Okay,
rappers in it?
with the
gotcha.
what?
The rappers in it, the Wu Tang rappers.
No, no, this ain't no rappers in it. No.
Yo, didn't they make a black and white movie? Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're one of y'all know, with Wu Tang, with oh man, it was a black and white movie with some rappers in it. Word. It was like it was a racist type movie. It was like a black rapper who dated like a white girl and
Um,
something
nah,
crazy.
nah, this don't have nothing to do with no racism. No, it's just
Uh,
husband and wife, and the husband was gaslighting her to drive her crazy. But it's a good movie to see how he did it really subtle, little things, and that's what I'm saying. It's not like out blunt like the way you told me with that. I'm not gonna call her lady, well that woman, whatever she said to you. It could just be subtle things. I don't want to tell y'all with the movie, but
I'm
watch
gonna
it. It's
check
an
it out.
excellent movie.
It's a
Excellent.
1940 movie.
Yeah, it's like in the 40s. You found it?
Uh-huh.
See, I love myself some Jack. He'll pull the things up quick. Yes.
Yeah, I
And
found it, Sister Donna. Thank you.
oh,
1940, right? I got
yeah,
it.
everybody found it. Yes, love it, love it. Yes, please watch it. Okay, yes, watch it. And matter of fact, I'll probably do a review on it. We talk about it or whatever. You
So I'll
know,
wait till you review it then.
no, if you want to talk about it on your channel, Chef, we can do this. Everybody watch the movie. We can come back. We
Okay.
can talk about gaslighting.
All right. That's cool. Yeah.
All right, this is fun. This is fun. Yes, yes, yes.
Definitely. I'm with that. I'm with that.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow when I get off from work.
Okay, good. Yeah,
So
watch it on there.
I'll be up on it.
It's an
I'll be highly
excellent
educated.
movie. I
I
wish I could see
appreciate
the
that.
bro. I wish I could have seen the Broadway play. Maybe they bring back the Broadway now. Broadway's opening up again, so that's a great thing. But that's a
Yeah, I've
very
been
good
to a few
movie.
plays. I like plays too.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I prefer that more than going to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Everybody's different.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
so okay, good. Everybody found the movie. Love it. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna step down and go into the chat box now. Like I
All
said, I
right,
was only gonna come up here for a minute, but I'm gonna
before you
hold you
step
to that.
down,
Okay. What's
just
up?
give your final thought before you step down on um lowering
Okay.
your standards and
Okay.
picking the lower hanging fruit, picking through the lower hanging fruit. Whatever
Okay.
you do, whichever one.
How would I sum it up? I would say basically, I say no one should lower their standards. Not at all. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
have realistic standards. That's what's very important. Be realistic, but don't
Uh-huh.
lower your standards. And also, what I always say is date smart, not thirsty. Because once you start dating thirsty, you are a victim of being used and abused.
Mm.
So it is what it is.
Fire.
Mhm.
Dropping them facts, dropping them diamonds.
Fire. About to throw some fire in the chat for that.
But we gonna have
All
some fun
right.
with it. We gonna have some fun with this gaslighting topic. So all right, we all
All
got our
right.
homework. And we're gonna do it. And thank you, Chef. Thank you for letting me be up here. And thank you for we're gonna do talk about the gaslighting. And I'm gonna email you and we'll, brainstorm.
All right, Don. I appreciate you.
All right, love you. I'm going back
Love
into
you
the
too.
chat. All
All
right,
right.
bye.
Yeah, salute to Donna, just being real for coming up and dropping them gems on us. Always appreciate the
Salute.
positive energy. Salute.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm about to get ready to drop down too, man.
Hit me with a
I
final
got,
thought, good brother.
I got you. Best advice I could give you, man, is advice I would give myself. I would give, my homeboys, and this is the key one. It would be patience. Don't be so quick to buy, that person things and jump into the relationship without knowing them. I think you
Mm-hmm.
really need to know and really, give them good security pat down, a good LAPD pat down on who you're dating. Because a lot of the times we jump into the water and we don't know how to swim. So I think that definitely patience is key and compatibility too. Like I said, like I've been saying throughout the show, find somebody. This goes for anybody. Find somebody that you get along with, man. Don't just be with somebody to just be with them. Make sure that y'all have something in common, and make sure that you guys can actually discuss things, which will be on the communication side. So communication is also key too. Discuss
Mm-hmm.
things, talk things over with your mate, and that's it. But that being said, though, my guys, brother Jack,
Great show,
Chef,
man.
brother, y'all be good, man. This was a great stream, man. I appreciate you letting me be on here, brother. For real.
Anytime, King. Salute.
Definitely, man. Y'all be good, man. Y'all be safe out there, guys.
Yeah,
You're ready.
great show, Chef. Great job, Dome and Donna. bringing in the knowledge. Much respect to all of y'all. I really appreciate it. Allow me to even come in with my crazy behind, but um, I appreciate it, and you're doing a great job, Chef.
I appreciate you, Jack. You know, you more than welcome, King. Salute, you came right in the door with the knowledge too. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, I like that. Definitely representing for the good brothers out there. You always do. The way you carry yourself is part of your legacy. That's all I'm gonna say about that. The way that right there, that's not something that should be taken for granted. You should be praised. You carry yourself as a gentleman, and a lot more men should aspire to be just as gentlemanlike as you are. And I really mean that. You and
I,
Dylan. So
I think they should be the best gentlemen possible. I don't think they should be just like me, but I mean, I think they should just be the best guy possible.
right,
Uh, for the world, because I know there's guys that are way better than me, and I'm not ashamed of that. There
yeah,
should
but
be. I
you're the
hope
best
there's younger
Jack
guys who are
Newton,
better
though.
than me. I hope they are, because if
You the
not, then
best Jack
we're
Newton.
we're failing.
Word up. You the best Jack Newton though. Like so Newtown, I mean. So I mean, the way you carry yourself is self-explanatory. Like that that says a lot. Like I'm not talking about who you are, your personality. I'm talking about when if there's like something that's disrespectful, you're gonna be let it be known, and then you don't participate in disrespectful behavior, and you stand up for women. Like that's rare.
I think everyone should be able to stand up for especially for people who have been victimized
Yeah.
the most. I mean, it should be a natural order. I mean, it should not be a choice. Um, we God did not give us this testosterone level and strength and muscle mass just to look good. He did it to protect the women
Mm-hmm.
and made the women the nurturers to carry on the nation. Um, God didn't sit up there and just give us muscle mass and testosterone just to be sitting on the couch, watching boxing all day.
Mm-hmm.
He did it for a reason. Um, and we need to use that purpose of doing a better job at, especially with that. I'm just going to say it because this has bothered me for a week or so, and I've talked about this Tila Tequila character, uh, who's running her mouth on black women.
Mm.
Um, that person lady, I don't know what her angle. Maybe her angle is trying to get with a black guy, but I'm gonna tell you something. That's not how you get a black guy, by bashing black women. That's just it's not gonna work. Um, and I don't know what's her angle is when it comes down to it. I don't know what's her end game, but it's odd that she just specifically target black women for God. I don't know why. Just like everybody's jumping on Sha'Carri Richardson because she smoked weed. Big freaking deal. Who cares?
Uh-huh.
I don't care. Okay, I understand about the rules, but the problem is a lot of these guys on YouTube talk about it's about the rules, but they don't even adhere to the rules them dang selves.
Right.
I don't know. It's just crazy that people just sitting back and just letting certain things go down without being properly checked. I mean, it's just not cool. I mean, it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I gotta say. I appreciate you, Chef. I'm gonna get all off of here and I'm gonna sit back and listen to the rest of your show. I appreciate you for allowing me to come on.
No doubt. I definitely want to hear your your views on the tequila because I never really checked into that. So if you do that on
Oh,
your, I'll definitely
w-
tap in.
well,
I
yeah, I
never.
did it. I did a broadcast on that, but that, just to kind of bring the short sect of it is that she's trying to use the Bible against black women about their hair and about them being bald in that sort of manner and curse being bald.
Yeah, I
But
got to look into
now
that.
I will say this. I will say this, Chef. The people who she was talking about in the Bible are us, God's people. And I'm not gonna back down on that for whatsoever. And you can bring your TD Jakes and Creflo, Cash Flow Dollar, and all those other suckers out there and not run them down. But it's not her place to speak on that at all.
Hmm.
She is
What is
not
she? What's
of
her
our
race?
people. I mean, she's a
Oh,
washpot when you break it down.
I got to
Um,
look into that.
yeah, I mean, she's a washpot, and I don't think a washpot has any right to speak on a black woman or anybody, especially if they didn't do nothing to her. Um, and and she I don't know what she's trying to do. I mean, she's failed in reality shows, she's failed in MTV, she failed in VH1, she's failed in other projects, and she got a kid by God knows who the baby daddy is.
Hmm.
And I guess her new thing is okay, let me get on this attacking black women situation and get my numbers up. And it seemed to be working. Uh, and I asked Tila Tequila, won't you turn the comment section back on so you can hear the criticism from your foolishness? But of course, she's not going to turn that on.
Oh, she turned it off.
Oh, of course, she turned it off. She don't want to
They
face it.
probably was hitting her comment like, "Oh,
Oh, those sisters going to try to run. Now going to run her down downtown to the point they had to take out that wash pot and throw the dirty water out of it and put a new, fresh, clean water in that wash pot.
come on
Make it
now,
happen.
that's crazy." But yeah, I appreciate you coming up, Jack. Appreciate you,
Okay,
bro.
sir. I thank you once again.
Salute.
All right.
Salute to all the panelists, all the participants, everybody in the chat. Thank you for helping me survive love, having a discussion for that matter. I just want y'all to know, update on me. I'm doing wonderful as a person. Um, I'm always growing intellectually from the conversation. I get a mental aspect from the conversation. You know, it's always positive energy, and that's something I appreciate. I value you guys' opinions, perspectives, and narratives, and even your truth and your testimonies, plus your experience. You're always welcome over here on Socially Balanced TV with your boy Chef Disaster. That's without being said. The platform is open for any discussion. Email is there. The house call number is rolling across the screen. And you can always leave a video, a message on any video, and I'll respond back. The open platform, Socially Balanced TV, is a platform of the people, spreading peace and love, not hate. The topics are real, the discussions are real, and it's just me. It's just your boy, Chef Disaster 3.0. Just me. You know what I mean? I'm just me. I can only be me, but I'm real. And this is fun, and this is also a learning experience for me. I thank anybody and everybody that came through and supported the channel by hitting the like button and sharing the video. I salute y'all. Thank you. Donna, Jack, Dome, I appreciate y'all for coming up and having the conversation with me. I salute you. You know what I'm saying? Um, the thing I took from this today is my final thought is never settle or sacrifice your happiness for things that have no real value. The things that have value, cherish them and put them at the highest standard and don't relinquish on your stance. From you guys' opinions and perspective, I got that. And I'm able to reiterate and give back to y'all what I've got from your perspective. Queen Donna, she came up and she gave a perspective on characteristics. Very important to have a different perspective, male and female. I salute her for that. Thank you. It's not often that we get both king and queens on the panel at the same time. I salute y'all. For real, for real. Um, you get the love from the serving the love cup. You already know what it is. Finish that nightcap off. Word up. Salute. Uh-huh. I love all of y'all that came through. Smash that like button. I try to keep it real, Donna. I try. you know? Um, I hope y'all get great energy from your creator, whoever you believe your creator to be. I believe in God. Only God can judge me. All right? I send special prayers to everyone who participated tonight in the chat and who participated on the panel. I wish you guys nothing but the best. So stay away from the low hanging fruit because everyone has access to the low hanging fruit, and those type of people will probably remain single. Find the fruit that's sweet enough for you, firm enough for you, ripe enough for you, and give it the love that it deserves. And you will receive nourishment from the nectar of the fruit. Peace and love, spread love, not hate. From your boy Chef Disaster Plate Prevention over here on Socially Balanced TV. You enjoy it. What you talking about, Donna? Yes, sure. Donna got some. Thanks everybody for coming to Chef Surviving Love. Stay tuned for the next one of his great topics. Thank you so much, Donna. I appreciate you. Let's hit him with a little bit of fish grease. Who want to hear a little bit of that fish grease? Here we go. Hit you with a little bit of that fish grease, part-time lover. Let's get it.
Fish. Grease. Death. Water. Boy. You got your thing and I got mine. A late night drink and that's just fine. You're all I need. A part-time lover. You ain't can't do this thing like me. I'm crazy love is all you need. I can be part-time lover. See, we can be strangers in the AM, but lovers when the day ends. The world's our workplace, the bedroom's a playpen. You got a man, I got a girl, why pretend? This could be some Chucky shit, friends till it ends. Your man's a half a man, so call me bionic. A beneficial agreement, our friendship's platonic. No time for courting, we ain't going on dates. Only time we hook up is when you wanna get straight. Never each other's cribs, but a mutual place. No night spending, at its ending we skate. A flame type of thing, with unattached strings. We break headboards and leave beds needing springs. If you see me with my girl, just give me your eye. No need to say hi, just walk on by. And if I see you with your man, I'll kindly do the same. Act like we never met and I don't even know your name.
Just thinking I got mine. A midnight creep and that's just fine. But all I need, all I'm part-time lover. You can't do the thing like me. I'm ready to see what happens, all you need. I can be part-time lover.
I wanna be a part-time lover, no more, nothing other. Let's keep it undercover, strictly under the covers. Privately riding me anonymously, it obviously got to be non-monogamy. The 69th page of your diary, I'ma be your doctor feel good, I can make you feel good. The medication I prescribe it do you real good. No daytime meetings, just late night creeping. Never on a weekday, only on the weekends. Escape to your little secret, that's how we should keep it. Sex with no limits, only more conditions. I'm fucking you, you fucking me, no commitments. No Facebook posts or pics on Instagram. I got a girlfriend, you got a man. So us being one is outside the plan. And if we ever get caught, shit gonna hit your fan.
You got your thing and I got mine. A midnight creep and that's just fine. But all I need, all I'm part-time lover. You can't do the thing like me. I'm ready to see that is all you need. And I can be part-time lover.
Yes, sir. Part-time lover by Fish Grease. Got another one up by Fish Grease, and we gonna be out.
Yeah, ooh, yeah. I got girls from the east to the west and east. Girls all around the world, from New York to Tennessee. I got a cooking in there, plotting this everything. Girls all around the world. Girls all around the world. Hey yo, I got a girl named Keisha, pretty little Keisha. Like me to beat her like Ike did Tina. She know how to cook crack, roll weed and shoot a Nina. Pussy so good, it's too hard to leave. Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. What I call my senorita, a West Side Story chick named Maria. Bitch look like a lemonade margarita. Sick Hispanic mix lip taste like sangria. Got a boo from Honolulu, look good in a tutu. High class bitch, ride thick in the mute news. No bra to make a lasagna like Rashonda. I hit it with that EPMD. Help me Wanda, help me Wanda, help me Wanda. I got all sizes, shapes and colors. All ethnicities, we loving the brother. Might see me in the Jeep, slow creeping with your mother. I got girls all around the world, from Chi-Town, Mississippi. Girls all around the world, from Kennedy to Virginia Beach. From Houston to Cali, if you out in the Cali. Girls all around the world, girls all around the world, girls all around the world. I got one so official, I met her through Missy. She said, fish fuck the bitch, but don't let her kiss you. Internet chick Trish be all on my webcam. Fat girl be like Grease, call up Redman. One named Janet with her ass out the pan. Sucked me off just to meet the green-eyed bandit. Got one from Puerto Rico, that's 4'3". So petite and in a hurry to meet Keith Murray. My Chi-Town girl shine like 10 carats. Met her in line, buying some carrots. My H-Town girl, she worthy and right. She keep a nigga leaning like the dirtiest sprites. I got girls on the East Coast, girls on the West, but them Dominicans in Harlem, they do it the best.
I got some with fat asses, some with big breasts, a few with long hair, and a few that wear weave. None of my girls are broke though, all of them got cheese. Some of them drink liquor, some of them smoke weed, some afternoon divas and some late night creepers. None of them ugly, all of them is fly, even the ones that's on SSI. I got girls all around the world, from the east to the west Indies. Girls all around the world, from New York to Tennessee. I got them cooking and cleaning, plotting and scheming, ready doing everything. Girls all around the world, girls all around the world.
Salute, salute, salute. You already know what it is. Peace and love, spread love, not hate. It's your boy, Chapter After Place Prevention. And this is what we do over here. Hit you with that little fish grease. You can check him out on all platforms. Up and coming rapper. If that's like your type of music, definitely check it out. He got some fire. That's fish grease.
Fish, grease. I wonder if I was broke, would you take me for a joke? When I asked for your number, would your yes be a no? If I was living check to check and wasn't dipping in the lights, would I gain your respect? I'll get played to the left. I wonder if I was ashy and wasn't this classy, would you stop and say hi, or would you walk right past me? I wonder, meditate, think about, speculate, puzzle over the thoughts, questioning if we were ever date. I wonder if your eyes visualize me as fly, or do they see me like the average New York guy? I wonder if I ever come across your mind, cause most of the time I find you on mine. I wonder if I told you I was better than the best, would you believe it? Or would I still get treated like the rest? I wonder, yes indeed baby I do, but it's a wonderful wondering about you. I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. Yes, indeed, baby, I do. But it's a wonderful wondering about you. I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. I wonder, yes indeed, baby, I do. But it's a wonderful wondering about you. I wonder if you're single or do you got a man? I wonder if dating is even in your plan. I wonder if you can cook as good as you look. If I was the verses to the song, would you be the hook? I wonder, in that time I'd be lost in thought. You're like a gift I asked for, but sin of course never bought. I wonder if material things cloud your mind, if your favorite cereal is the same as mine. I wonder what God was thinking when he made your design, cause you're more than beautiful and far beyond fine. Are you a duplication? Are you one of a kind? I wonder like, what's your outlook on life? Are you the religious type? Are you living for Christ? If I were a bag of peas, would you be the rice? I wonder, yes indeed baby I do, but it's a wonderful wondering about you.
Peace, love, spread love, not hate. It's your boy, Chapter After Place Prevention 3.0. I'm out.